All right, people. So sorry, I had to stop the video because it was frozen and it wasn't reacting to the command. So sorry. We are back. This is almost like taking food out of somebody's mouth. So we are back. Thank you so much for joining us again. I guess we'll consider this as part two. So, Sister Augusta, please go ahead with the subsequent question.
No, I'm yet to finish with.
Oh yes, Mazi,
Yes.
please
Right.
go ahead and
So
finish.
we got to the point where we were explaining to our people that every single thing, whether it is the corruption they see climbing all over Nigeria, under this constitution, corruption is official. There are provisions in black and white that enable the humongous corruption we're talking about, that also protect the potential beneficiaries of corruption. Anybody who knows, one second. Sorry, I had to, adjust something. Now, anybody who knows any lawyer in Nigeria who is talking about fighting corruption under this constitution should tell that lawyer he is a criminal, that I said that he's a criminal. Whether that lawyer is part of government or outside government pretending they are concerned about corruption. Section 6, subsection 6C of the Constitution, relieves the government of responsibility toward the citizens. So all the money in the treasury is not meant for you. Section 6, subsection 6C, it removes all of what is the share of the citizen in the social contract. The citizen is supposed to have all kinds of things listed in chapter 2 of the Constitution, and that's section 6, subsection 6C, makes it non-justiciable. It says, well, you can't ask whether it's done or not done. From that, you go to section 81 and 82 that gives the spare key to the treasury to the president. Section 81 says the president must go to get permission from National Assembly to spend money. Section 82 says he can run government, spending money subject to certain dubious limits. So the president does not require anybody's authorization to take any money he finds in the treasury. As it is for the president in section 81, 82, so it is for the governors in sections 121, 122. Therefore, the heads, the 37 men who are the heads of the executive branch, they hold in their hand the spare key to the treasury, and they can take everything they find in it under those provisions. Then you come to section 308 that gives them absolute immunity. So they don't owe you any obligation. They have the spare key to the treasury. They have absolute immunity. You can't question them while they're in office. And as they're leaving, find out who replaces them. People who go to prison if they were to be probed. Check who replaces the governors that have had to leave. And so we have these things coming from that constitution. So whether you're in the Niger Delta shouting about resource control, it is the constitution that took all those assets. There's no change. No adjustment is possible. No improvement is going to happen as long as that constitution is in place. You are in the middle belt. You are being killed. There's no change, no adjustment, no improvement that is possible under this constitution until it's taken down. The killings will go on because the guns are in the hands of only one small group. And it is that constitution that put the guns in their hands. Those who are waiting for electricity to improve, they're not going to get any improvement as long as the electricity generation and transmission remains in place under that constitution. So that constitution has to go down for electricity to come. If you're talking about railways and ports and all the other things that are in disarray, or elections that are upside down, those people in civil society that go around talking about free and fair election under an apartheid constitution, I said to them that when things will break down, there will be the first set of casualties from those who are going to be enforcing what the people want in the coming day. They are the ones holding that constitution in place. The political parties, all of them, subscribe to that constitution. For every election they drag us to under that constitution, at the time we have repudiated the constitution in every way possible. We are telling them, let's go and fix it. If for every election they drag us to, they are only elongating the life of that constitution that caused the killings, that caused the misery, that caused the impoverishment of people, ruining their lives. The quota system that put the worst of us in charge of the best of us. And so it is just a matter of saying that what the Lower Niger Congress and the MNN and the rest of the MNN Alliance did was to diagnose this problem for what it is. Every other solution, every other approach will fail except you diagnose correctly. The patient will die. The patient here is Nigeria. The other patient are the Nigerians who are trapped in that union of death. And so the LNC, the MNN Alliance, worked out something that will bring all of those who are suffering from this battering, from these impositions, put them on one side against the people who insist that we cannot change those things. Because in the map we showed, all of the people in this alliance territory now agree among themselves that we must go back to being a federation. They agree that that constitution must be taken down so that we can put in place provisions that will make us a federation one more time, so that things can begin to work like it works in other countries. The people who impose that constitution, who are also imposed Sharia, and who are holding on to feudalism of master and servant, they are the ones saying that it can't happen. They say it's indissoluble. They say the union is indivisible, and all kinds of nonsense. But this majority has come to where it will not tolerate that bad arrangement one more season. And the political parties that submit themselves to going to elections under that constitution, the winner of any such election will govern with that constitution. So anybody who is prepared to swear to defend and uphold a constitution that is the reason for the killing of other people, is reason for the impoverishment of other people, because it's going to get some profit in the coming days, those who are either being killed in the Middle Belt, or whose assets have been detained in Niger Delta, or whose lives have been turned upside down. Look at Eastern Nigeria. Look at the number of people outside the country trying to earn a living. Many of them die in the Mediterranean Sea trying to cross over, go to Europe, go to the US, go to Asia, and you see the number of our people who have been charged out of their homeland by Nigeria that is choking them. And you think they're going to remain in that place and die all? They want to come back to begin the reconstruction of their society. All of those who have been dislodged. In the coming days, the people who are sustaining that constitution, those doing political party, telling us we'll go to another election, especially those in the East, who are now talking about Igbo presidency, we will treat them as the enemy, as the people who are directly responsible for this problem. Because if they were not going to seek benefit under that apartheid constitution, we will have solved this problem a long time ago. It is because they want to take benefit under this apartheid constitution that we are dying. So we're going to treat them as the people directly responsible for the deaths that are happening, whether in the Middle Belt or in the Niger Delta or in the eastern part. We're going to treat them as the ones sustaining the criminality of opening our treasury up for people who are not accountable to us. We're going to hold them accountable for all of what has happened that is now bringing Nigeria as the example of the failed state among the Committee of Nations. The LNC and the rest of MNN Alliance has set up a framework by which we can ease out this constitution and replace same with something that is the negotiated outcome from those who have been trapped here. And by that we're saying we have arrived at that point where South Africa reached in 1990, when the government of the day had to accept that the apartheid constitution could no longer carry their society any further. We will not allow anybody to drag us to an election that will give another 4 years of life to that constitution that has injured us for 21 years. We are saying it loud and clear now that those who, whether they're of PDP or they're of APC or they're AGA, we are saying that as long as, to the extent that all of the political parties subscribe to that constitution, they are all, complicit in continuing the treason that Absalom Abaka and his confederates in the Supreme Military Council of the time committed against us in throwing away what should have been the social contract and replacing it with the one that is now causing these deaths and injuries to everybody. We must draw a line. We are not quarreling with those in government house. We are saying that we must accept that we've not made this constitution. We must accept that it can no longer remain the basis of selling 3 million barrels of crude oil every day and killing people all over the place, and bringing foreigners to come to kill people and take their lands. And we pretend we're in a union. That union is distressed. and people who are suffering under it have become a majority. They have organized themselves, and they will not take it any further.
Thank you. Thank you. Well said. It's so sad that our people are aware of what is going on, especially those in leadership, and they continue to promote this government that is against their people. I just don't understand it. Sister Augusta, please go ahead with the subsequent question.
Yeah, thank you, Barrister Tony, for your explanation. I just hope our people would open their brains because as I was perusing what they were saying, some of them are still probably daft, I don't know, but they need to open to what is going on. So my question to you, Barrister Tony, is considering the rapidly growing consensus against the continued operation of the 1999 Constitution, especially the recent pronouncements about rejecting further national elections under the disputed 1999 Constitution by the leading socio-political groups in southern and middle belt of Nigeria. Can you please explain to our viewers how the political class is the unseen angle that renews the enslavement every 4 years while they smuggle their children and family abroad away from the misery that it creates? Thank you, Mother Teresa.
Thank you. Yes, I was almost stepping into that arena because
yes.
as long as the tap is on, you mop in vain. I mean, you're just deceiving yourself. Instead of turning off the tap, you want to go and mop. So every time we talk about PDP is not doing well, let's go and bring APC. It's just a matter of trying to mop differently. We have seen the kind of mopping that Jonathan did. We saw the one that Buhari have been doing since then. Has the situation improved? And we say the turning of the tap in the situation is to take down that 1999 constitution, just like South Africa had to take down apartheid constitution to end the misery of the blacks in South Africa. Now, why haven't we been able to do it since 1999? These complaints have been loud and clear. The people that make it impossible, the people that insist it cannot be changed, are the ones who are governors from our place, not the ones of Sokoto and Kano. It is those who come from our midst to go to become senator and governor and council chairman under that constitution. So that constitution is actually, the dividing line between darkness and light in this matter, the dividing line between good and evil. If you were to find, for instance, in 1988, if you were to find a group of black people who, because they were going to be governor or senator in South Africa, will join the board to sustain that apartheid constitution that is killing the blacks, that is making them slaves in their homeland. That is what the political class of southern and middle belt Nigeria who are subscribing to the democracy defined by this apartheid, worse than apartheid constitution. That's what they are doing. And we say, if the rest of us have come to the realization that our miseries flow from this constitution, and those of them the few who have to go and who want to be governor and senator, insist that they will continue to subscribe to, the democracy defined by this apartheid constitution, the rule of law defined by this constitution, and all of what it contains. They are standing with the enemy. They are standing with those who impose on that constitution on us. If they agree with us today, this matter will end today. If they agree with us that we cannot proceed, that they cannot proceed in the pretense that we have democracy under apartheid constitution, if they do that today, all these problems will end today. And therefore, we hold the political class from the south and the middle belt responsible for our miseries and our woes. The killings going on are being enabled by their participation. The impoverishment happening to everybody is happening because of their participation under the constitution. The assets that have been detained, whether it's oil and gas of Niger Delta or the port of Lagos or other such assets, how did Dangote come to become the owner of all the limestones in the land? Somebody allocated it to him. And so we're saying that it is because of those elements from the south and the middle belt who are participating in the politics defined by this constitution. That's why the enemy that imposed that constitution is finding, validation, finding legitimacy with their participation. They are doing that participation in negation of the rights of the other people. They are doing that participation as in collaboration with the enemy against their own people because of the monies that they get paid. The governors that go to get 10 billion or 5 billion every month, the senators that get 50 million naira every month as their own allowance. That's the only thing that concerns them. That's the only thing they bother about. Their own children are all out there. The others, the children of the other people must remain here and die here. So we're saying to them that we will hold them responsible for this misery going forward. We know somebody imposed it, but they are collaborating, they are colluding in keeping it the way it is. And we said they have to make a choice now to come to join their people in rejecting further business under that constitution, or they remain with the enemy and get treated as the enemy by the people who are suffering from whether they are being killed or they are being impoverished or their destinies are being derailed, like we see all around. 200 million people, it cannot stand. And they put our signature at the foot of that constitution as the authors of it. That's the worst of it. And we're saying we did not make the document. We've taken 21 years to explain to everybody that we need to get rid of it. They are not listening to us. In the coming days, they're going to count how many they are. In the coming days, they're going to see that they cannot overpower the number of people they claim to represent, or they pretend they seek to represent, for the ones who are not yet there. For anybody who is prepared to swear to defend and uphold the Constitution that is directly responsible for the killing of other people, such a person will have to take responsibility for the consequences of aiding and abetting the killing, not the person who originally imposed it. That's where we want to come. We're not bothered by those who are trying to keep what their grandfather Ahmadu Bello or grandfather Uthman Danfodio handed to them. They are keeping it by subterfuge, by guile, by brute force. They've had it for 100 years. The time has come for us to examine the basis. The time has come for us to say, to go to a meeting, to re-examine the signature behind that, give the life to that instrument. We did not sign. It's not going to remain the basis of the union. There's a process that can make it peaceful, but if they insist that guns will be used to resolve it instead of discussions, they will soon have to count their numbers.
Thank you, Martin. Thank you. Sister Ukui, please go ahead. You need to unmute yourself.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Barrister Tony.
No title at all.
Okay, thank you so much, Tony. Tony, yeah, I know you don't like titles. It's just that sometimes our people need to know who is talking to them, because some of these things we are discussing are legal issues, they are technical issues. So there are people who understand that it's not just something that you pull out from the corner of your ear, and just start telling them. These things have been studied, and there's a specialty dealing with things like this. So we are in good hands. So we've had torrents of inquiries, pouring in from interested members of the public, wondering and asking, how will this fraudulent 1999 Constitution be taken down to end their misery? So many are anxiously seeking to know what roles they need to play to bring this thing down, to dismantle this appetite-like 1999 Constitution. So questions are coming. Please, can you help our people, help to tell our people what they need to hear? Thank you.
Thank you. Well, luckily for all of us, we recall that it was by proclamation in 1914 that the union was imposed on us by the British, who had set up their criminal venture.
Yeah.
And the argument here is that if the proclamation of one person sitting in one corner of England is enough to create this union, the joint proclamation by those who have been trapped here, those who bury people in hundreds every day, is more than enough. The custodian, the owners of the sovereignty, our sovereignty never left us. Our sovereignty was always with us. The only thing that happened was that when a supervening force comes up, it becomes a suzerainty. So in all the years of colonial rule, our sovereignty was suppressed, and we were under the suzerainty of the British Crown. When they left in 1960, they handed over to their local agent, this Fulani Caliphate, that has now imposed a constitution by brigandage. And our sovereignty remains with us, the sovereignty of the Ijaw, the sovereignty of the Ogoni, the sovereignty of the Fulani, the sovereignty of the Yoruba, the sovereignty of the Igbo, all of those sovereignties that have been, confiscated into the Nigerian Union of Imposition under this constitution. Is those sovereignties that we have to invoke together. And that's what this alliance is all about, to organize the owners of all those sovereignties to invoke their sovereignty and reestablish their right to self-determination. That right to self-determination is inalienable, is not subject to the agreement or acceptance of anybody. All you need to do is to organize yourself in such a way that you can exercise it. The constitution we have in place now was done in negation of our right to self-determination, in suppression of our right to our sovereignty. And so that constitution that is the end product of all that brigandage is within our reach now to take down, since it has our signatures on it as the authors of our own damnation. What our people need to do now? Two things. Very quickly. They need to begin to understand what the problem is. Like we're explaining now, ignorance has been 90% of all of what has gone wrong. Mm-hmm. The ones who are waving Biafra flag all over the place, the ones who are shouting Oduduwa Republic, the ones who say, oh, restructuring, none of those things is going to fall from the sky. The ones who say, oh, resource control, who are you talking with? They are not listening. They are not going to listen. They are only looking for who to bribe. They are only looking for who they will kill. And so knowledge is the first thing. The materials are right there out, abundant. Let our people begin to listen to the diagnosis of the ailment that is about to kill them. It has killed many. It was this same ailment that killed 3.5 million people in eastern Nigeria, where the discussion was, how do we live in this union in peace? Is that same ailment that is consuming all of those who have been killed in the Middle Belt? Is that ailment that is sitting on the lives and assets of the Niger Delta? Is that ailment that has brought Yoruba to the point where they have gone to the UN to say they don't have a country anymore? And so knowledge, sharing of this information that is freely available, people can go directly to the Lower Niger Congress website, lowernigercongress.org. That's www.lowernigercongress.org. You will see all of what you need to know about it. You can share it. You can go to Facebook, Lower Niger Congress wall. You're going to see so much of all of this. That's on the one part. On the other part is the action that is about to be ignited now, to be activated. This constitutional force majeure is merely, a declaration of an emergency to declare the situation as it is, that our contract has been frustrated by these extraordinary circumstances of Sharia being imposed, of the basis of the federation being truncated, of our signature being put on a document we didn't make. In all of that, once that proclamation is made, in invocation of our sovereignty, those who are listening now should tell other people who are not listening that that is the end of the life of that constitution, because the problem, the source of the problem is in our hands to reverse. We only need to say that we have endured this to the point where we can no longer endure it. We are suspending obligations under that imposition. We are not anarchists. And so we will give this, the system is going to be given some definite time to come to table. the majority that is being killed by people who are flooding in at the invitation of the government of the day. The Fulani have been invited from all over Africa. We saw the governor in Bauchi going to television to tell us that Fulani from all over Africa belong to Nigeria now. We saw the president of Nigeria throwing our borders open, and they poured in great numbers. We see the kind of things they're doing all over the place. The governor in Kaduna told us that he went to 14 different countries to give them money to stop coming to kill, meaning that he knows where they are. And he's in direct contact with them. And they've been asked to come in. They are here now, they are killing people. And we say, in all of that, we're in a position to say that our contract has been frustrated by this series of actions, and that obligations will be suspended. We're not anarchists. And so we say that those in government house, exactly like South Africa did with apartheid constitution in 1990 under President Frederick de Klerk, we're saying that those in government house can remain for the period we must have that discussion. But as for that discussion, it must now be had. And we're saying that we will not proceed to any further election. I'm sure everybody had the Yoruba land declared the other time, where they talked about not being available to go to another election under this constitution. When they say unless restructuring is done, they will not go to election. And as it is in their part, so it is in our part. The solemn assembly that happened in the Lower Niger in Port Harcourt in 2015, the solemn assembly that happened in Ibadan on the 7th of September in 2017, the one that happened in Makurdi on the 18th of July in 2018, were saying the same thing. The constituents, the whole of the South and the whole of the Middle Belt had, by democratic processes of the people, repudiated that Constitution 99 as the basis of the Union. They now came out in December of 2018, December 11, in Freedom Park Proclamation to say that no further elections will be tolerated under that Constitution. The elections slated for 2023 is still almost 3 years away. This is the time for those who do not want to continue to be slaves in their land to embrace this action and explain to the other people that we only need to insist that we will not proceed to any further elections under that Constitution. And the people, we have the action to take is to look around your neighborhood. Who is doing PDP? Who is doing APC? Who is doing ABGA? Since all the political parties subscribe to that Constitution, our quarrel is no longer with the ones who came from Mali or who came from Senegal. Our quarrel is with those people in our neighborhoods promoting political parties, whether as candidates for election or as people just running the party because it is the party that fields the candidates for elections. So our ordinary people who want to end their trauma should see to it that no political party is allowed to drag them to election in their neighborhoods. Anybody that is political party is the enemy now. And we're saying we must stop the journey to another election in 2023. We're not talking about boycott here. We're talking about stopping the process at the earliest stage. It is possible for us to tell those people who are running political party in our neighborhoods that they are dragging us to death if they think they want to drag us to another election in 2023. We're not concerned about the ones of the states because those ones are already here. The one that will happen in Edo or in Ekiti or wherever they have elections next. Those are not the ones we're talking about, so that we don't introduce confusion. We're not talking about boycott. We're saying we have to shut down the process that might lead to elections under this constitution in 2023. And so those in government house can remain for the period of this discussion. Our quarrel is not with the governor and president and senator. They can remain in their post, but we must now go to the process, like South Africa did in 1990, to begin to work out what will happen. Our people must go to referendum in the manner that they will recommit to the union, because the collapse of that constitution is end of union. Let nobody deceive anybody. It's not the business of National Assembly to begin to write constitution, because there are two businesses that have to be transacted from the collapse of the constitution. Are we recommitting to the union? You had Professor Akintoye of the Yoruba World Congress talking about the referendum bills they have before their 6th state assembly. That is what the other groups, the other groups in the alliance are already working on their own for how they get there. Their people must recommit to being in any union with anybody by referendum. It is when they recommit that we can now go to the question of deciding the terms of that union. That's where we are now. It is within the reach of our people who are facing this existential threat. Fulani are all over the place in their backyards, pointing guns at them. They are there just because they are the Union of Nigeria. As imposed by this constitution, it is within their reach to say they did not make this constitution, they will not live under it anymore. But we are moderating in the middle. People are already calling on others to go and get guns to defend themselves. The Catholic bishops in Nigeria are calling on people to go and defend themselves. You saw people, even governors, they're telling their people, look, go get guns wherever you can get them because they've been killed. So we say, before it becomes anarchy, what we have proposed now, what we are proposing by that force majeure is to activate a framework within which this matter can be engaged under a roof. If that opportunity is not taken, the matter will resolve itself on the street. And if anybody is thinking they're going to find enough guns to overrun all of these people, if anybody thinks they're going to overrun all these people by just molesting them, you saw the one, Obadiah Melafia was telling them what was happening to his people. He comes from the place where the killings are taking place. They've done everything to engage the government, in the area. And he was reporting what he had verified. And the DSS started inviting him to, what do they think people are going to do? That those who are facing existential threats on the scale we have seen are going to get intimidated because they wear some uniform? They better realize that this will not stand. They better realize there's a new majority. They better realize that the ordinary people are going to be holding to account the members from their own parts of the country that are sustaining the life of this constitution. We can bring a process to it and avoid anarchy. That's what we are offering. That's what this whole proposition is all about. That we can resolve it instead of allowing it to blow up and consume the continent of Africa. If Nigeria goes down, the whole of West Africa is gone. And if with the kind of things we have seen between Sudan and Libya and all of the whole world is concerned. We spent most of last year in the United States where they were worrying about the scale of killings happening here. We saw in August when the special rapporteur came to Nigeria to look at the reason for the extrajudicial killings, blood all over the place. And the report was that the constitutional arrangement of Nigeria was like a pressure cooker for injustice. All the agitations are coming from bad constitutional arrangement. The agitation in Niger Delta is coming from the fact that their oil and gas assets are seized by your constitution. The Middle Belt is upside down because of that constitution. The Yoruba that is now seeking Odua Republic and the ones in the east looking for Biafra, all reacting, their constitutional grievances being expressed. Why can't we accept from what we have seen that we did not make this constitution? The one we made couldn't have led us to this. We are saying, let us sit down and accept that we have a problem. It is that pretense that we do not have a problem. It is the pretense that guns will resolve it that has led it to go this bad. Our people can solve this problem inside 2020 if they will listen to us. Directives will come to them as we go on.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tony. You have really explained everything, broken it down, enough for our people to know that the ball is on our court and we can really do this thing. And we have people to copy. I mean, South Africa, like you mentioned, they've done it. So why can't we just follow suit? Knowing that war is very expensive. We are talking about 250 million people. The world will not watch for 250 million refugees to pour into the system. They are still coming out of COVID-19. They are not even out yet. The economic hardship is still there. Then you want to go to war. The war will not allow you to go to war. So the earlier we sit down and do what we need to do, the better for us. Thank you very much, Mr. Tony. I want us to move a little bit from, we've talked about this thing, lectures and everything, but there's some other practical, a little bit. As we talk of freedom, because my people say, as you're saying this, you're also saying the sister that is part of it. We talk about freedom, talk about sovereignty, talk about self-determination. But it seems our people in Southeast inadvertently entered into another bondage called Ibinu Babe oath. Because it's like, I remember Haiti, if you want to come out from one bondage, then you, with your eyes open, walk into another bondage. As if they make bondage for you, as if they make slavery for you, that you must be enslaved all the days of your life. So as they're coming out of Nigeria, they're entering another one with their clear eyes. Fortunately, Brother Tony, you're from Arochukwu, the home of this ancient shrine. Can you please throw more light on this dangerous oath that has turned members of IPOB into a very dangerous group of people? Some of them now behave like members of the dreaded Boko Haram terrorist group. I call them the Almajiris of Southeast because they are jobless, walking up and down, looking for trouble, looking for people to harass, just like Almajiris that you have in Northeast. So it's like we have created the Almajiri system in Southeast. We're in the name of looking for freedom. Please, can you help us, throw more light into this whole menace? Thank you.
Okay, you're talking about the oath that the IPOB
people... because some of them want to come out of that cult. They are afraid of Ibinu Babe that is about to kill them and kill their families, So please, what is about this oath? What is about Ibinu Babe?
At the time we were trying to explain to some of them who are in the US, we had a lot of town halls across the US in 2019. And there were quite a number of the IPOB sympathizers and subscribers who had to come to ask me by the corner, say, that the problem they have is that they took an oath and that their families will be wiped out. So I just laughed at them and explained to them that it's all a part of the scam that Nnamdi Kanu set up in the name of Biafra restoration, whatever that means. There are some boys from that Arochukwu who are, people who don't have a resident permit and work permit in London, who saw in the scam that was set up by Nnamdi Kanu an opportunity to also earn a living, and who decided to firm up that scam with something like 419. I'm telling you things that people from that part, from Arochukwu, who live in London and who worked within Nnamdi Kanu to set up that part of the scam, so that they can hold those who they secure, those who they have a captive audience of people who can no longer walk away from them on account of fear. But I'm telling all such people that it is a scam. There's no oracle that is going to kill anybody. Were the three of you not in IPOB? Was Clifford Ray not in IPOB? All of those who have come up, which of them has died from that? So I just laugh when I see people who have education talking about this kind of nonsense. It's a scam. None of those people who are talking about it, can come within 1 kilometer of that shrine. In the kind of evil they are doing, they will be struck dead. There is no connection between what they are doing and it's actually a scam. It was part of what they had to put in place to be able to hold together, to hold those they capture in place with fear. Anybody who comes out who has realized that it is a scam, that what Nnamdi Kanu is doing is a scam through and through. Anybody who realizes that and comes out, if anything begins to happen to you, call me, Let us go and see what it is that is happening to you. Nothing will happen to you. It's a scam. I'm confirming it to you that it's a scam because the boys who set it up, they're just laughing at all of you. Because they had to come to tell us this is what we are doing, trying to earn a living, trying to get our own share of the proceeds of that crime. But blood is flowing. Our young people are being deceived and killed, and they are being killed. There must be an end to that scam. We have an opportunity to recover our sovereignty. The processes to take down the monster that is holding us in bondage have, come to point of irreversibility. The Yoruba, the Middle Belt, the whole of the East are together. The constitution that is the mechanism by which that monster is holding everybody down is on the guillotine. It's gone. The successor, entity, the successor protocols are already in place. We just are now coming to where, like a long flight, you have to land it somewhere. That's where we're going now. So if anybody is talking about independence and self-determination, what else are we offering? What else is this process offering you than to end the occupation state called Nigeria in your space and give you an opportunity to work out fresh protocols with neighbors with whom you agree? So please, there's no Babi anywhere that's going to strike anybody dead or ruin their family. It's a scam. I'm confirming it to you. I've said it in private places. I've said it a number of times, but on this occasion again, I can confirm to you that there's nothing that will happen to you on account of that oath. It was part of the scam to hold you down in place.
Thank you very much. It's just like some of these girls that they take into prostitution to Italy and all that. They go and make them swear something. Oh my God. And people really perish for lack of knowledge. Thank you so much.
Nothing will happen to anybody.
I will tell you, since I left IPO, I had been more blessed. So I'm not sure why. It's actually the reverse.
No, the blessing is too much. After leaving that POB, the type of blessing that God just pours into your house is like left, right, center, everywhere.
And not only that, the enemies that you made when you were in IPO, because they weren't understanding what we were trying to sell them.
Yes.
So now that we are back to our normal self, they are coming back. You're making sense to them with what we're selling. Before, it was war. You can't talk to your mom, you can't talk to your dad, you can't talk to you because they're not understanding what you're doing.
Yes, your brothers and sisters, you cut off from them because they are not agreeing with you.
Because they're not agreeing with you.
You stay alone in the family. So now people are coming back. Like, are you back? Welcome.
Yeah. So as soon as you leave, your friends' life will become better again. So the way you leave, the better. So we are ready to
just to add to what you're saying. You remember you once ran this 8-point strategy of the LNC. Now. These same people who, in the name of Biafra restoration, rejected the 8-point strategy of the LNC, they are making U-turns on every one of those 8 items. They are going to have to make a U-turn. They've already made 3 U-turns. You saw them talking about a map. They said they went to UN and they have 11 states. So they are back to a map that is exactly the Lower Niger map.
I saw the
involving. Bringing together the 11 states of the South and Southeast as one political bloc. They now say, they are working with the Yoruba Middle Belt. For people, we try to tell that the key to our own salvation is that everybody in that bondage has to work together. You went about abusing the Yoruba, abusing the Middle Belt, destroying all the alliances that have been built over time. Now they are saying, you see, we're now talking with you want to build a house from the roof? When we spent 6 years going around the Niger Delta nationalities to explain to them before we even came out in 2009 to announce Lower Niger Congress, you kept abusing them, abusing Edwin Clark. You saw what happened with Asari. You saw the Urobo angle to it. You saw the Ogoni angle to it. So where's the map of that territory? And if you have a map that includes their land, because you are using the word Biafra that presupposes the inclusion of their land, and you don't want to talk with them, you sit in London and announce yourself that is coming to swallow them. What are they going to do with you? So they've made these U-turns to make more U-turns.
Tony,
They
Tony,
rejected
you better
referendum.
stop before.
Mazi Tony, they are busy watching our show because each time we talk about a particular episode, they make
They run around and go and change something in their own plan. So I don't
he watches our show because he wants to make sure that he's getting it right.
No, he's not going to get anything right. The people they are talking to,
you guys,
they need the.
I have the power to take lives. I will destroy all of you guys if you don't stop.
No, he said even the matter of referendum. He said that any Biafra that does not come by war is not acceptable to them. He was broadcasting it for years. And we told him we've had a war on the subject. The 3.5 million people that got killed in 1967 to 70, are there not enough of blood? How much more blood does he want? And we said to him,
5 million more people
now he wants to be the champion of referendum. That how do you precipitate that referendum if not for this kind of work that has been done?
Take life
and now he's the champion of referendum. He's the one campaigning. Referendum will fall from sky, whereas you have to precipitate it. They don't want to do any part of this work. He said that the constitution we're still discussing Nigeria, that is only Biafra that he wants to talk about. Now we are back to where 75% of the task is actually in taking down that constitution. What part of that work will anybody say he did if you didn't understand that the constitution is actually the barrier between you and where you want to get to? Whether you are Odua Republic or you want restructuring or you want resource control, it is that constitution that stands between you and what you want. And we say, this is the work to do. You sabotage that work for 7 whole years, 8 years. And you now turn around to say, oh, you see, I'm working with the Yoruba here, I'm working with the Middle Belt there. The people are laughing and calling us to say, can you see this lunatic? Who amongst us is he going to work with? I just have to tell our people that's what's going on.
You have people under the bridge. Yoruba, some people that are under the bridge. Lagos.
Of course, they will find the lunatics from other parts. The serious Yoruba people in this alliance are not going to touch anything from that flank. No. The serious Middle Belt in this alliance are not going to touch anything in that flank, from that angle. The ones in the Niger Delta already said it by themselves that they are better, far better in the Nigeria that is discussing with them than the supreme leader that has a power of life and death. You know what it means? So Nigeria will at least allow you to shout and quarrel, and then come to discuss with you. Supreme leader doesn't discuss with anybody.
No.
And he says he has the power to take life and to give life. So he can decide who lives and who dies. He has 2 million men he can send to destroy anything in any part. Is that the kind of thing we should be discussing in 21st century?
No.
All right.
My quarrel has since ceased with the people. The ones I really marvel about are the ones still listening to the nonsense gushing out of that radio every day. People with education. You can't ask basic questions. You want to go from point A to point B. You're not asking how it will happen. You're not asking for the roadmap. You're not asking for the vehicle. You're not even asking for the exact territory. How are you discussing independence without defining the territory you want to? We have seen maps that extend to Central African Republic on one side and Angola on the other side. So if you were to be called at the UN today, you go and bring a map involving 6-7 countries as the Biafra you want to restore. Yesterday I was in some part of eastern Nigeria yesterday, not an Igbo, and I saw a woman that came to a meeting tying a double wrapper. I began to laugh. And the people in the meeting said, what's so funny about this woman is beautifully dressed? I said, no, there's one lunatic in my backyard who said that anywhere you see somebody tying 2 wrapper, the territory is Biafra. And that this woman is just confirming to me. Much as all of you are quarreling with the people talking Biafra, this woman has made your territory part of the kingdom of that supreme leader. And that's just a joke. But that's what they're telling the whole world to come to listen. Whereas the one that you see the map in the background of the map behind you there, is that not the map of the United States? If anybody is discussing anything that will happen in the place, it starts from somewhere and ends somewhere. So you can't be pointing in the sky, otherwise it will include Canada, it will include Brazil. If you say it is all the people, you are pointing to the sky. So we say, where is the territory you want independence from? You must have it. It wasn't defined. And if you have not defined even that very basic thing, what else are you going to be telling anybody about?
It is obvious there is nothing going on.
Killed. Time is running.
Yeah, there's obvious there is nothing going on, and we all can testify to that. So that's why we can, as mothers, we cannot watch our children continue to die while we play games with people that don't even know their left from right. So callers, viewers, we are ready to take your comments, your concerns. Please focus your comment, your contribution to today's topic. If you deviate from staying on today's topic, we will take you out. So if you are coming in to discuss what we have discussed today, you're in. Our number has been posted there. The Zoom meeting ID number is 987. For the meeting ID number 346-090692, and the password is 003282. So I have some people waiting already. So call in. We'll take about 5 or 6 calls. So I have Jacob Lechi. So callers, when you come in, please introduce yourself and where you're calling from, and especially if you don't have your real name on the display board. So Lechi is connecting. Says Jacob Lechi, I think. Just another thing, the audio. Maybe put this person in. The audio may be a little, depending on your connection, it may take a while for you to join. So yeah, please focus your questions, your concerns, your contribution to today's topic. We really want our people to understand what Tony is saying. Basically, what he's saying that his power is how do you say it? Belongs to the people. Power belongs to the people. That if you want this to end today, it will end today. If you want it to end tomorrow, if you want it to end 20 years today, it will end 20 years today from today. So please pay attention. Stop being emotional. Stop ranting. Stop thinking, oh, all I want is Biafra. Yeah, all I want right now is Akara, but I don't have it. So I need to find a way to get to the Akara. What do? I go and wash the beans, blend it, and start frying it. I cannot be screaming like I'm one person. All I want is Biafra. Only hope is Biafra. How do you get to the Biafra that you want?
Exactly.
So we don't need childish attitude here and what you want. We all know what we want. We want the hell to come to a stop. What do we need to do to stop the hell? That's the next question. They're still trying to connect, so I'm not sure what kind of internet connection that they may have. Okay, owner, please, turn your video on. Turn your video on or we'll remove you. Hello?
Hold on.
Click on the video. Click on the red button of the video.
Okay, so look at owner is trying to get ready. Let's go to Jacob. Jacob Lechi, please, your video on, your audio is on. So turn on your video and come up with your contribution. Good morning, Jacob. I'm not sure if that's your name. That's what's showing. Can you please tell us your name and where you're calling from?
Hold on. My name is Clifford, not Jacob.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. I wanted to ask a question. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my question is to Mr. Tony. Mm-hmm. Mr. Tony, actually, thank you very much for what you've been doing. I have been following you for quite some time now. I understand that you've been doing this for about 20 years now.
21 years.
21 years.
Yes.
Okay. I really appreciate your work, and it's not everybody that can have the guts or the tenacity to confront Nigerian government. And based on the fact that I am from Nigeria, I'm from Southeast, from Igbo land, I'm an Igbo guy, and I've been brutalized by Nigerian government a couple of times when I'm back home. So my question is this: regarding taking down the Nigerian constitution. Yes, I understand that presently you are not a lawmaker. So understanding the fact that you are not a lawmaker, how do we take down the constitution? Because I understand for you to take down the constitution or do any constitutional amendments in an existing constitution, you have to at least submit a bill to the House, and the House will deliberate on it, probably approve it, maybe conduct a constitutional conference in order to amend the constitution. But in this case, you've been fighting to take down the constitution for 21 years, and that have not happened till now. So in what other ways can you are you planning to achieve that?
All right, we got you. Your question is a product of ignorance. Your question itself is wrong. And if you listen to the program itself, I had answered that question in course of the program. That as what we're talking about is not the business of the National Assembly to do. The legislative mandate of the National Assembly does not include constitution making. Sovereignty belongs to the people, from whom government through the constitution derives all its powers and authority. Therefore, the business of making the constitution or rectifying anything that is fundamental in the constitution is not that of legislators. Legislators are elected to make laws under the constitution, make laws as empowered by the constitution, as stipulated by the constitution. It's like the memo and articles of a company. Only the shareholders make the memo and articles of their company, not the hired management. The question you've asked me now about not being a lawmaker and therefore how amendment can be done, it's not amendment we're talking about. Was it by amendment that the apartheid constitution was repaired? The apartheid constitution was taken down. We are saying that the owners of Nigeria have not made a constitution. We went to court in 2007. What we did in the last 21 years is not, we didn't just stand there on the street and shouting that constitution should go down. No, we organized the owners of that sovereignty. From the time we called them together for a countrywide meeting, the Pronaco, that happened in 2005, for them to come to decide the new terms under which they may want to relate, and if there's reason why they can't relate with any one section, like those who introduced Sharia in year 2000, it will be within their reach to opt out. So it is the process of building that consensus and getting those who to recover that sovereignty, to organize their spaces. The Yoruba today have their constitution in place. The Lower Niger has a charter of relationship in process. The Middle Belt has their own charter of relationship in process. If you do not want to go to anarchy from where we are, those are the things that you have to do. What will it take to take down something that took over 250 years to build? The situation we are in now didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen in 1999. Was it in 1999 that the states were created? Was it in 1999 that the exclusive list was introduced? No. Was it in 1999 that the British got here, that lumped us together with those people? So all these things had been in process. Even before the British got here, things had already happened. But they got here and worsened it, and now lumped us into a relationship with people who are of an opposing civilization from us. Our civilization holds life sacrosanct. Their Sharia holds life expendable. They owe it a duty of faith, as a matter of fact, to kill you, the infidel. And we're saying it's not by shouting that those things are going to change. We therefore organize things in a process. There was a plan of what to do after what. And that plan has been executed to the point where there's a majority. At the time you began to shout about Biafra in 1999, Were you talking to the other people who are also in that problem? No, you were abusing them and alienating them. And just bringing yourself to, let me show you what our people have been doing in the campaign they think they are running. Take a very close look at this. You see this small part. This was the Biafra of 1967. What Nnamdi Kanu and his co-travelers in the crime they are committing is they are alienating our people back to this isolation, in which all of these people are going to be united against you. What the LNC has done, for those who are saying what did LNC achieve in 21 years, what we have achieved is to expand our side of the battlefield from this encirclement into this vast territory, the Eminent Alliance, in which we have on our side now the Yoruba that were with the enemy before. We have on our side now the whole of the Middle Belt that was with the enemy before. If anything will change for us, it will be because we have got this majority now. The constitution by which the enemy is prevailing, it's like the shackles and the manacles holding us in that bondage. If you do not work out with all these other people how to bring it down, you are going to be alone in that trial, and you are going to be isolated and criminalized and killed. That's what we've been doing for the past 21 years. Who amongst you are going to sit down? Hold on. Who amongst you are going to sit down with the international stakeholders in the arena? But we've been able to do that because we had a case we could present. We've gone to the institutional stakeholders, particularly the United States. We were able to show them what we wanted in place of what we were rejecting. What constitution do you have in your hand to manage these 250 million people that will be looking for alternative arrangement? That's what we spent 21 years doing. All those things are in place now. And the international stakeholders that have the capacity to take on these monsters that are going to bring ISIS into the region. We have what working together can now bring us to where we want to go. And the whole world will not have to worry with the 200 million refugees. But if you are insulting your neighbors, insulting Yoruba, and isolating yourself, exposing people to be killed. Now let me correct the first part of your question. You were talking about fighting government. The LNC did not set out to fight any government. We set out to bring down the constitution that was imposed on us. That's a different business from fighting government. The matter we're discussing is above the level of government. It's like talking about going to quarrel with the management of your company. We are not talking about who is in government. We're talking about the constitution that creates the government. So it doesn't matter that somebody is president and the other one is the governor. What they are doing is what was mandated by that constitution. Our signature was put on the document that mandate them to steal, that protect them from us as they are stealing. And we're saying we did not give that mandate. We did not sign that document. We did not make that document. That's a totally different engagement from going to quarrel with the downstream part of who stole what in government. You saw what been going coming out, EFCC today, NDDC tomorrow, NMPC the day after. Have you asked yourself why are these things happening? Why are they not happening in other countries?
Thank you, Maz. I think you've done a good job explaining that. So he's only going to answer one question per each person, only because we have other people waiting and it's not fair. So one question per each person. So decide to ask the most pressing question for you today, so that we can get to other ones. So you've done a good job explaining, and this is what we are saying. If you are not listening, you will be on the show and people are still not understanding what is being said. This whole thing has to be done by you. Stop worrying about the government, about the people that are in the house. Since they've been there, have any of them represented any of us? So why do we keep referring back to them over and over again? We're telling you that power belongs to you. You, the caller, you hiding under the bridge, you calling people names, you, and you. You guys are the one that will say we can no longer live under this constitution that is stifling us, that is taking the oxygen out of our lungs. So what part of that are you guys not understanding? Because we keep saying this, and some people think it's all about ranting and being on the radio and one Biafra, and Biafra is our hope and all. Me, Jesus is my hope. Where is Jesus? He's not here. I have to do my bidding to get to Jesus. So this is the bidding that we all need to do to get to that destination that we are looking for. Can we appreciate that and focus on, yes, okay, I have determined I want to be a doctor. Now I have to start doing the prerequisites. Do your chemistry, do your whatever, take the MCAT and go to medical school. We are talking about the process. This is the process here. You cannot skip it. No amount of emotion will make you skip it. This is what you need to do to take your power back. Oh, okay. Caller Galaxy 880, please, your name and where you're calling from. Turn on your video, sir. Galaxy A80, turn on your video. Okay. We don't have time to waste. So I'm going to remove him. And once you remove, you can't even log back in again. That's the funny thing about this. Techno, come on 12. Turn on your video and your audio. Okay, this other guy is not able to, he cannot log in. Techno, come on 12. Techno, you're on mute. Turn on your video, you are on mute. Techno. Okay, I think Duga Ewuga is ready. Duga, please go ahead.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. Tony, well done. Well done for your effort. My question is.
Yes.
Yeah. My question is, by the time the constitution is dropped, what governs the part of the country?
A transitional government. What South Africa did to get rid of apartheid constitution was that they came to a date in 1990. After 80 years, the apartheid constitution was introduced in 1910. People began to resist what they thought was oppression on their land. And down the road, two lawyers emerged in their midst, Oliver Tambo and Nelson Mandela. Up to that point, the blacks in South Africa were chasing these Boers with stones. Everywhere they see them, they throw stones at them. The Boers will fire and kill 20, 30 people. That was what was going on. But these two lawyers came to tell them that it is not these people in government house that are responsible for your situation. It is the apartheid constitution that took your land and described you the way you became in that land as slave. And so the focus moved away from throwing stones and being fired with live bullets to focusing on the apartheid constitution. That was the case they took to the international community. And that was what was, engaged to bring an end to that apartheid. And so in the time it had come to where a majority were now in that knowledge, the government, the pressure had been brought to the point where the government of Frederick de Klerk had to announce in 1990 that apartheid constitution could no longer carry the society any further. And they went into a transition. That's what this alliance is about to enact. That's what this constitutional force majeure is targeting to enact. That those who impose that constitution will be brought to where they can no longer proceed to any business under it. And if you have a situation where three quarters of the country is together in that insistence, and they've gone to explain it to the international community. You saw us in the US throughout last year. You saw the UN coming into it to pronounce that constitution as the source of this misery, as the source of this killing, and that we are now a danger to the international community. The answer to your question is that a transitional arrangement will have to be put in place like South Africa did in 1990. It took them 5 years. Kodesha. Was that not the process? So we are saying that we have come to where that constitution had to be put aside. A transitional arrangement will have to be put in place. All the work of what will replace it has been done. That was what we spent the first 15 years doing. To make sure that there's no anarchy. So that's what it is. We have to get to transition. Those in government house can remain there for nominal governance. And the ones who have to decide where they go with their sovereignties will go into the process. It shouldn't take the 5 years it took South Africa, because we've done all of the work of what will replace what we are rejecting in an orderly form. it will go to referendum so that there's nobody going back to shooting the way we saw in 1967. This is not the same debate that led to that war.
All right, thank you, Eduga. So we have Galaxy A30. Go ahead, your name and where you're calling from.
Are you talking to me?
Yes, your name and where you're calling from.
Okay. Thank you so much because yeah, I haven't been using this platform before. Thank you so much, Daughters of Truth. I appreciate your wonderful job you guys are doing, and I also want to thank Tony for the work he's doing as well. I have a question. My question is as regards to the constitutional force majeure. In a layman's terms, when is it going to be activated and how? And after that, what should be the next thing? If it's a referendum, how is that referendum going to be achieved? Going to be managed? So the constitutional force majeure, I mean, we've had a lot of, about it for some time, and I was part of people who were agitating for Biafra and all that, IPOB and all that. So, please, I would like you to throw more light on this constitutional force majeure, how it should be activated or achieved, and after that, what is the next thing that would happen and how would it be managed? Thank you.
Right, I heard it. Thank you. Now, there are aspects of the information that can only come at the time the action has been activated. Those who think they are getting benefits from the rotten, status quo, the present arrangement, they are all putting heads together to see whether they could dethrone the Igbo presidency at the East. So look, we can now accept you to come and be president. People are holding meetings in Sokoto and in London, trying to say, Igbo, come and take. We already told them that even if Buhari resigns today, to say let an Igbo man come and take over from him as president, under this constitution, we are saying that will not solve the problem and will only intensify what we are doing. That Igbo man that will step forward to go and be president under this constitution will have us to contend with. And there's nothing that will be spared in stopping them. How much more when we have to go to election to get to that? All of those who will be preparing to go to that election will have those who have been shot at on the streets of Aba and Onitsha, on the streets of Makodi, on the streets of Ibadan by this monster and these agents. They will have them to contend with. And the constitutional force majeure is just something everybody has to wait for how it will happen. But the summary of it is that it is this majority that will be coming out to disown the constitution, the further elections and further, business under that constitution that is injuring them. And it is just a matter of when they say it, they will begin to do it. When they say it, they will begin to do it. I'm sure you saw these things. There are written materials with timelines that have been in the public domain for months and months. In fact, it should have been activated, in the first quarter. It was the arrival of coronavirus and the shutdown and lockdown that came with it that delayed it. This majority, is working together to roll out something that will put a time frame, that will impose a time frame on everybody. The details will come as we go forward. From the time it's rolled out, there are certain things that will begin to happen in the period. From those who, it will be a matter of, are you for this or are you for that? And if perchance there's a majority that is fed up with the union of master and servant, they will have an opportunity to demonstrate it in some way. I'm sure you had the Yoruba talking about the referendum bills they already have before their state assemblies. Their 6 state assemblies have bills by which a referendum bill by which the Yoruba will have to decide whether they want to proceed in any union with anybody, from the point of that activation of that force majeure. Again, you saw all of the journey to the UNPO. People are turning, the Yoruba went to the place, the Middle Belt is on its way to the place to say we no longer have a country. The East have been there. The LNC have been, in the place where they need to be in that UN system. We are guiding what we are doing with first-hand knowledge of what should be done to bring us to where this situation is precipitated. A constitutional logjam is imminent. If I were to bring it further down for you, the constitutional logjam will have to be resolved one way or the other. The resolution of it can only be by way of referendums. That's why those who are listening to us are already working. That's why the Yoruba prepared their referendum bills and sent to their state assemblies. Only in the East do you have people who are just going about waving flags, abusing people, getting people killed, with absolutely no plan for how anything can happen. Absolutely no knowledge of what they are looking for. Absolutely no desire to have anything change other than contribution of money. These are criminals. If you do not organize yourself to get out, I want those who are still in IPOB to listen. The United States Commission for International Religious Freedom, in their 2020 report, listed IPOB in the same paragraph as Boko Haram, as some of the entities tormenting the church in Nigeria. If those who are organizing that scam, if those who are organizing that franchise do not pull back, they are on the way to being listed as foreign terrorist organization. Because in that report, and that is the US agency that will implement the executive order President Trump has signed on the 2nd of June for how to come to, abet this killing that is going on here. So what is the difference? To tell you the extent of what is wrong. What is the difference between the priest, the Catholic priest that is beaten up by Boko Haram and the one that is beaten up by IPOB? That's what is written in that report. That they are doing things to disrupt the life of Christians. And you heard when your supreme leader came out talking about Christians that will go to hell, saying that people should be stoned to death. You saw when a sitting senator in Nigeria was beaten up in Germany. So you are presenting yourself to the rest of the world as a violent group, justifying the terror tag that the government of Nigeria had placed on you. And if you thought it was an error, you go back to, there's a video that happened, something that happened in Ohafia, where your supreme leader came to say he will go to Abuja and bring the head of a sitting president. You saw him in Umuahia taking salute in a parade.
Thank you.
Are these not mad acts?
Thank you so much. I think you've done a good job explaining that. We have Elohim. Elohim, unmute yourself, your name and where you're calling from, please.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes. Your name and where you're calling from.
Okay. I'm sorry, first of all, I'm putting on cap. I don't like doing that. But good evening. I'm calling from Indonesia. Actually, I'm a Yoruba guy. I'm from Ekiti State. There is something I want to ask because I follow up your program sometime about bringing down the constitution of Nigeria. I don't know if that is today's topic because I believe I'm on the line. But I want to ask a question about how to bring down this constitution because I keep listening to the young man, I think Tony Nadi or something, talking about other group like IPOP. Yes, I'm not an IPOP member. Of course, I'm not a Biafran. But sometimes, I'm sorry to say, I like what they are doing. And the man, Nnamdi Kanu, has been on the limelight trying to make sure every ethnic group is free from Nigeria. But my question goes this way. I don't want to go into that. How can I be confused as how to bring down this constitution without being pressured? Because I cannot see the group. I think NSC is a group. I don't know if it's a group or organization. I don't know. But I cannot see the group like as IPOP is doing, even here in Indonesia, sometimes they do their meeting around where I live. And I believe you talk about people, consulting people, working with people. I want to believe that people, the voice of the people is the voice of God. Yes, that's what I believe. Now, this IPOP is going and convincing people to know what they are doing. Now, but I can understand you people believe in people, which I believe. Which in every country I see them, holding rally and all of that. Now, my question is,
what is your
sorry,
question? What is
Ask your question, please.
my question is now, do your group believe in rally or going around, or you believe in underground work without people see, or the people you want to liberate seeing what you are doing? That is my question, and I need an answer, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Before we answer, Mazi, before you answer him, he said he's from Ekiti. He's calling from, has he dropped? Oh.
No, go ahead, because
he didn't give his name. He didn't give his name, but he said he's calling from Ekiti, and it doesn't sound like a Yoruba guy.
That's okay. Let's answer the question real quickly and move on to the next person.
Right. He may have called himself any name he chose for whatever reason, but those listening, actually, they know who is speaking.
Right.
And so the matter is simple. Even if you do what you are doing, even if you go waving flags and causing commotion for the next 50 years, you've not made any case, you've not drawn up any plan that can translate to independence or that can restore sovereignty to those whose sovereignty have been hijacked by Nigeria, by the state of Nigeria. What the LNC did is to set up a plan for how those who are in that problem can work, internally among themselves to begin to, get themselves out of the cage. And it's not about the quantum of noise made. It's about a specific plan with timelines of when one padlock will be removed and another padlock opened and yet another, because there are about 8 padlocks, which was what we showed to those people who were talking about Biafra restoration. And the LNC did sit down with them at the beginning. Every one of the groups, starting with Wazirike's Masop to all the other ones that came after. Omuka says Biafra Zionist movement, and which is government in exile. All of them who say they want, it was just a matter, the noise is about the lamentation, a statement of complaint. The LNC brought forward a plan that can deliver that thing you are looking for. And the thing you want to get away from is Nigeria that made you slave in your homeland. The instrument by which they make you that slave is what the LNC has put in motion, a process that will remove the instrument and restore your right to be in your space.
Let me help you in a layman's term. My brother, what you're saying here, what we're trying to tell you is that it's like somebody trying to go to school for medicine. But you're in school, you're doing mathematics. You're in school, but you're heading the wrong way. What we're telling you is that Mazi said that you guys have laid a complaint of what they're doing to us. We all know nobody wants to be in that contraption. What they're doing to us is wrong. The LNC is now telling you that this is the process, this is the roadmap to get to where you're looking for, to get to what your ultimate goal. So some of you think it's yelling, screaming, crying. Yeah, that is the complaint. We are not telling you that we have heard your complaint. These are the things that we have to do based on international rules and regulations in order for us to get where we're going. That is the difference. So enough of that.
That's it. Right. I think that about captures it. Right. What the IPOB and all of the other people who are saying they wanted, who are they talking to? How will it happen?
To themselves.
And then we put a plan on the table that will deliver the self-determination to the definite territory that that fall into that location you are pointing at as where you want independence for. And we call your leaders one after the other, eyeball to eyeball, 42 different Biafran organizations in course of the last 12 to 15 years. In 2013 was Nnamdi Kanu, because the IPOB was the last to come, and he rejected every one of the 8 points of what needs to be done. He started doing the opposite of them, alienating all of those we needed most to be able to work together to break that cage.
Thank you, Mazi.
Every single thing we needed to do to succeed, they were doing the opposite. And now they've come to the end of the road. They can't see what progress they can make anymore, and they're making U-turn and creating falsehoods. You said you are now working with people you were abusing for 7 years. Who amongst them is going to listen to you? You are doing Photoshop for saying you went to the US to talk with people who are calling us every day about the Photoshop you are doing. As I speak with you in August of 2020, not a single official of the United States government had ever been in any meeting with Nnamdi Kanu and his IPOB. Everything you see is Photoshopped.
It's terrible, Mazi.
And they're embarrassed for us.
It is.
The same thing as the UN, the same thing as the EU. So you destroy the cohesion. Mm-hmm. You destroy the cohesion we need with our neighbors who were with us in Biafra that collapsed, which the LNC worked hard to restore. You destroy the alliance we managed to build with our outer neighbors, the Yoruba and the Middle Belt, who were part of the alliance of 1967 that came against us. You are abusing them and saying they should be stoned if they come to your space.
You
do that for 7 years.
Thank you.
And you turn around say, oh yes, now we are forgiving you.
We have callers waiting. Please, let's leave that one alone.
Oh, please,
We've done
call
a
them
good
in.
job explaining it. You know, they're laying a complaint and LNC is giving you a roadmap to accomplish what you want. So it's just that simple. Galaxy 87H, your name and where you're calling from? Galaxy S7H, your name and where you're calling from. You have to unmute yourself, sir. Okay, so I'm gonna remove that guy.
Let's try the next person.
Yeah, so we gotta go here. Techno, Cam, unmute yourself and turn on your camera. Hi, who are we, mates? Unmute yourself and turn on your camera. So whoever that has their camera on, ready to go, I will bring you in. If not, we'll just remove you and move on with other callers.
Try Ability Family. I think that one is ready.
Ability Family, where is that? Ability Family, okay. I don't see that. Okay, Ability Family, go ahead.
Am I audible?
Yes. Now you are.
All right. Please, I want to say a few things in form of question anyway. Just note them down. One, I am
your name.
I'm 38 years. I'm 38 years old right now.
Okay.
I'm from Edo State.
And your name?
I'm calling. My name is Oduwa. Oduwa.
Okay.
Yeah. I understand Edo State must have been among the leaders he met in this organization called LNC.
Yes.
I'm 38 years old right now.
Yes.
I have not heard of anything about LNC until Mr. Nnamdi started attacking Nnamdi Kanu. I have not even heard of his name, not to talk of the movement he's into. Not until he started attacking Nnamdi Kanu. Why is that so?
Who started attacking Nnamdi Kanu?
That's one question. Second question I want to ask.
No,
as a man in life.
You can only ask one question, okay? Remember, we told you there are other people waiting, so you can only ask one question. So obviously, that's the most important one too.
Please, let him ask the second question. So, let's give him.
I wish you give me the chance to ask the second question.
Ask it. Go ahead.
Yeah, my second question, as a man in life, where I am right now, I had challenges, and there was a second option, which is where I am now. There is a place I wanted. It failed me. I had this place as a second option. If Nnamdi Kanu is a problem to you or to your movement, is there no second option to escaping that obstacle of Nnamdi Kanu so that we all can attain this freedom we are looking for? Where I am, I'm not happy about it. There is an adage that there is no place like home. So I want to be in a place where I'm recognized. These two answers, these two questions, I need answers, please.
Okay.
All right. Very quickly. The biggest obstacle to that desire of yours is the scam going on in the name of Biafra restoration, which is actually debilitating what should have delivered that outcome long time ago. The Lower Niger Congress, before we came public in 2009, we actually, immediately after Pronaco in 2006, when we were thinking of how to begin to enforce the consensus that have been built, the Lower Niger Congress, the principal proponents, we spent 6 years going around, as you see in this map. Anything I say, if you go to research, you will see the video of how they happened. Just that our people were not listening, and at the time we were doing it,
they're still not
it was like a submarine.
Mm-hmm.
The enemy was waiting for you to come and make trouble. The LNC moved like a submarine. You don't see the submarine moving, but at the time it was moving, we were also sending signals to all of those who said they want that outcome. The ones who wanted the outcome in genuineness did not have any difficulty collapsing into that plan. The ones who set out as a fraud, as a scam machinery, began to argue and make noise for things that ought to have been done quietly. They began to ring a bell. It is a stealth operation. They began to ring a bell all behind us. Oh, we go to Biafra, we go to Biafra. And then it made the whole task a lot more difficult. They began to abuse those we needed most. They began to lie to our people about things they know nothing about. Now, the LNC went to the palace of the Oba in Benin. If you say you're from Edo, Enohobo was in the lead. We went to Oba Erediwa of the time. He was the secretary to the government, to the cabinet office of Gowon that went to Aburi. He was the one that took the minutes of the Aburi meeting in 1967. And he had become Oba of Benin. And we went and made this proposition to him. And he called other people who he had to consult. It took them 6 months to the point where they agreed that this is better for them. Somebody has to switch off something somewhere.
Yeah. Sister Mona, can you mute him, please?
Mute the noise, please.
Solomon,
you have to be a responsible adult when you call our line. I know that some of you are having challenges manning this Zoom. When you call, you mute yourself. So if you are being disrespectful and unmuting yourself while we are talking, we will remove you because we have no time to waste. Our people are dying. Go ahead, guys.
So the LNC went to all of this. This is the map of the territory that we call the Lower Niger, that the south and southeast of today. The LNC went from the palace of the Oba in Benin to the Oluwari, to the Amayanabos, all the way to the Oba in Calabar. It took about 6 years to come to the point where they were all sufficiently satisfied with our proposition. And it was in 2009. Anybody who wants to know whether this happened can Google Lower Niger Congress and go all the way down to the oldest document in public domain. You will see a document of 2009 signed by 22 signatories, including the leaders of the agitations of the time. Asari Dokubo was part of the job that signed at the time, and all of those who started that process, as I speak with you, they are the ones now landing it, because it wasn't something of noise. When we had secured what we wanted to do in our own immediate space, we then continued with the ones in the Yoruba space, the ones in the Middle Belt, and the other one in an alliance. The LNC is for this, the Lower Niger. The Yoruba and the Middle Belt are two different blocks who have to cooperate with, since we are under the same torment of this, Sharia belt. The three are in that alliance we call the Movement for New Nigeria, which is actually Movement for No Nigeria. And our common objective was to take on the constitution imposed on all of us by this Sharia belt, to take it down so that we can recover our sovereignty. That's what we're doing. And the matter of abusing or quarreling with anybody, it was the point at which the criminal came out to begin to talk about what to present himself as having done things he knew, things he was mocking when they were happening. At the time we were in Washington, trying to tell the Americans what was happening, trying to get them to see their own interest in that battlefield, because ISIS was in this place. ISIS and Boko Haram joined forces in 2014 and became ISWAP. And we were telling the Americans that these people have relocated from the Middle East into our territory. At the time we were doing that, the Nnamdi Kanu was busy mocking it to say, oh, he's talking about Biafra, and we went to be talking. We were talking about killing of Christians. He didn't see the connections. But when the American administration began to take steps to address that problem, he turned around to say that he was the one that went to talk with them, and so. I had to say, because he actually said it was a lie. He said we were lying, that we went there on behalf of anybody, that we just went to take photograph as if we were like him taking photograph. So that's how it came that we had to come public to say he had been. We discussed with him in 2013. He continued to do the exact opposite of what should have brought us to where we were going. We ignored him for 6 years. It has come to the point where what he's doing has become the biggest obstacle on the road to where we're going. I can assure you that obstacle has been removed long time ago. It's just anybody who is still hanging around that scam, our advice is get out, because by the time the US moves to the next level of categorization, the report of 2020 was based on things that happened in 2018 and 19. By the time they reckon the stone to death order on Wodo, by the time they reckon the beating up of Ike Wemado in Germany, by the time they reckon the Indonesia attack, the attack on the High Commission, Nigeria's High Commission in Indonesia, by the time they reckon the pictures that are coming from home of people who disagree with them and who get beaten up, who get injured, some have been killed, people can pretend they do not know. Nobody wants to deal with that at all.
Thank you, Mazi.
It is act of terror.
We have 4 callers waiting. We have Techno Camon 12. He was there earlier. We have Hiawi Mates. 10 lights. I wish you guys will have your name on your thing. They've been in there for a while. They are not talking, so I guess I'll remove them and add Hugh, are we mates? 10 lights. Are you on? Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself and turn on your video. Okay, I think his thing is not working. Okay, and then we have Udo Ogu. Mazi, unmute yourself and
this my name is shocking. Udo Ogwenya, not Udugo. Are you not Igbo person?
Don't worry about that. Sorry, Mazi. Go ahead, introduce yourself and where you're calling from. Sorry about that.
Yeah, my sister. Well done job. I so much love you people. You people are doing a great job. I always listen to you guys. I see that you are doing a wonderful job. May God bless all of you in Jesus' name.
Amen.
I'm so much even thank our brother Anthony Nadi. To tell you the truth, in 2014, when he came to Radio Biafra London, I think 2015 or 2014, I liked bad thing against him because he tried to tell us about this constitution and he said about referendum too. And I cursed him, I insulted him because I was the member of IPOB from 2013 to 2019. Then I'm the one I liked something about him. Tell him to walk out from that radio because what we want is a war. Because now the guy told us we are going to war. And I believe him that we are going to war through. So, we start all those things and everybody believed him. And I waited for that war. I could not see the war. So suddenly, after I start to understand what Tony Nadi is saying. So, but what I want to ask Tony Nadi now, I already know many things about what he have been telling us. I say that what he's saying is truth. And I see everything that is working is perfect. So what I want to ask him now is, please, as Nnamdi Kanu told us that 2020, he will give us Biafra and the Biafra must come. So I want to know because he even threatened that when Biafra come, all the saboteurs, they will kill them because if they relieve them and they will born a children that will become saboteur too. So please, how do you see the talk? Do you believe that Biafra will come 2020? And if Biafra will come 2020, I believe that you will know. Why can't we work together with him as he promised that 2020 Biafra will come this year? Because I've been saying about that for a long time so that nobody will change that. He repeated last 2 weeks that Biafra will come 2020. So please, what do you want to say for that? so all of us will hear about the comment that he made.
Thank you, Udago. He's gonna answer you, okay? Mazi, please make it brief. Make it brief. If we have 5 people waiting.
The matter is straightforward. The fellow is doing absolutely nothing that will move the needle. He's only hanging around. You have a 1,000-meter race. You don't want to participate in that race. You go and stand 30 meters to the tape, to the end of the track, waiting to announce to everybody how you delivered it. Something has to be. The work has to be done. It is being done. The biggest setbacks we have had are these people who are refusing to do that work and who are impeding the work. If without them, if without what they have been doing, we probably would have finished the matter by now. The same way you were going about abusing us, the people who were in a position to help us were asking us, how come the people you are fighting for are the ones doing this type of things that they cause this type of setback? I was told in Washington in January of 2019 that the biggest setback to what the case we are making is the scam called IPOB. They said to me that they had verified that we were not involved in that scam, and that's why they opened up their system for us to come to address them in the manner we were doing. And how can he begin to talk about what is the Biafra that is different from the independence and the self-determination that will come from this process? How does it? Upon what plan is that a prediction of his based? We at least have a roadmap with timelines that will deliver certain outcomes. We had things we should have done in March, but for the lockdown, if we had done it, we'll go to the next thing and the next thing. We have the outcome anticipated, and everybody can see how close they are getting. The milestones we had in the plan across the last 20 years, everybody saw when we called the meeting, everybody saw Pronaco, everybody saw when we went to court in 2007 to begin the process of dismantling that constitution. Everybody saw in 2011 when we had the Lagos, the MNN Lagos Declaration, by which the blocs committed themselves to going to work out their self-determination instrument. Everybody saw where in the Solomon assemblies happened between 2015 and 2018 in the 3 blocks. Everybody saw where we came back in 2018 in December for the Freedom Park proclamation, by which we say we'll not do any further business. These are processes that will culminate in something that will go to referendum. If you are not doing any of all those, and you come and sit and tell me we need a 40-story structure, before you can have a 40-story structure, you have to buy the land. Somebody has to secure the land. Somebody will have to get the government permits. Somebody will have to get an architect to draw the building and all of what it will take to build it. Somebody will have to buy the materials, get the monies you need to buy the materials. Somebody will get engineers, plumbers, and all kinds of people, electrical parts, and go to work on the site until you do the foundation, take it up all the way to where you now have a building standing in the place. What Nnamdi Kanu and his criminal gang have done is to stand in faraway place, telling people who are desperate, very desperate to get away from trouble, very desperate to come home from the first exile they've been flung into, and he's telling them, look, contribute money. I'm putting up this 40-story structure. They are not in a position to know, because the people doing it are in the place where they cannot say they are doing it. He was trying to get us to say, oh, we're the one doing it. So because he's in the safety of the United Kingdom at the time. We are here. At the time we were doing these things, step by step, we got the land, we bought the materials. The enemy that is trying to prevent us is there watching, but we have to keep our mouth shut. Now that building is coming up. He's busy announcing how people can come back, can come and live in the place that he will deliver to them. He's not involved in the construction. Everything he has done is a setback to what we need to get that building standing. The work is going on. People are going to recover their rights to live in peace in their space, but that criminal and his gang are not involved. If anything, they have been the biggest setback to being able to deliver that outcome. And we're telling those who are still standing around that pretense that it is costing blood. What they're doing is causing setback. And now we have come to where the machinery that overcame the enemy in that space is going to take on them to get them out of the way, because our people are being killed and the time to succeed can be limited. We do not need any part of the nonsense he's doing. It's like pouring, sewage into drinking water. Yeah. What part of it are we to take? Is it the abuse of our neighbors, or the lies, or the photoshops?
I think you've done a good job explaining that, and they know the truth. Like you said, our people are desperate. They are very, very desperate, and that's the reason why I'm saying.
That's what he's tapping into that capital of that desperation of our people to go. They call it Biafra. That's all they call it.
Thank you,
and
Mazi.
They know that our people will do anything to have it.
We have,
and they are tapping into it to scam them.
We have Ikem Ojukwu. Ojukwu, please go ahead. You have name and where you're calling from.
My name is Ikem Efuna, and I'm calling from United States of America. I'm calling from Maryland.
Yes.
Welcome.
My question is this. Well, I like the program you guys are doing. But what I'm trying to say is this. Looking at the name Daughters of Truth, that is, you are mothers and he is our father. So, but what I really want us to do is this. Let me just ask my question and make my suggestion. My question is, there's division of labor. And the baseline of what we are looking for, both from different agitation groups, freedom. So I'm saying, if our father and our uncle, Mr. Tony Nadi, if he has I'm going to remove his message. Well, I see reasons with some messages on regarding the Constitution. If he can just please concentrate on that particular message and really convince us, and not calling names or everybody, as in just keep it just straight on that message. Because if we are fighting each other and looking at the US report of what is in our land, and they are encroaching into our land, we will miss the point and we will not know what is happening. If we can just stop, just tell us what we need to do, how we can support the movement. But as for calling of names, IPOBDs, and not this, their movement, they have their own mission. My brother, the problem
is that they are not working. So that's
they are lying to you that they are doing anything at all. Everything they told you they are doing is a lie.
These people are delaying. When he says setback, he is not playing. If they can get themselves organized like the Yorubas, we'll be presenting our constitution in the House of Assemblies now. We'll be finding a way to get ourselves out of this. But what he's doing is telling people that what he's doing is working. That he's talking to you and talking to US, and people are putting all their eggs in one basket following this.
And really attacking. So let me answer him.
We were part of this group. They are not doing anything. And we are mothers. We are the Daughters of Truth. We cannot watch in terms of Nandi making money for himself, and we're there busy pretending. Please, let's not waste our time. We want to move forward with this. We need freedom. Everybody want freedom like 5 billion years ago. Nandi is delaying what we are doing. That's what we are telling you. So one, he's not working. So don't get him misconstrued.
No.
Okay, how is he? Hold on.
By lying to our people, he did not go to UN. He did not go to US. When we were principal officers, we wanted to go and lobby Congress. And they had refused. They refused, my brother. They are not doing anything. Don't let me go and start vomiting everything on the air. We keep saying that we want to kind of like let it go. Don't let us bring evidence that will bring that stupid empire down. We are telling them to stop what they are doing. We need to move on. We saw it all. We were everywhere. They are not paying their so-called media they were paying. Ask them what happened to Biafran TV. These children were on air begging for money. Go and watch their previous videos. Begging for money to run it, but then that is telling us they are manning that. They are not paying for anything. They will be calling us for money to just pay their rent. My brother, let's not go there. These people are making money for themselves while we are wasting our time here thinking all they are doing is getting money. That's why when he came here in Houston, we were doing well, strong family. Now they came here and destroyed it and said he want everybody to go street and collect money. Everybody set up their own account and send to Germany because he doesn't want anybody to be seeing what other person is sending. Why can't you guys ask We even told them, we said, can we have some type of transparency? Let's put this in a pie chart and say 10% went to this, 10% whatever. They said, no, stay in your lane. It's a fraudulent organization. And if you guys keep asking questions, I will keep bringing things up. There's armed robbers. We have to move away from there because it makes me so angry because I know what effort I put into Ihademe. I gave it all. It was almost to the point of me going naked. Now medical center I was willing to stand naked on the 25 building there. If not for my husband and my kids, thinking that man is working for Biafra. He's not doing anything on one reke. We really have to go. I don't like to talk about these things because it makes my blood boil. I don't like talking about
the thing is that for the caller, listen to the answer.
No, I don't even want to. I'm already hot. Because let's look at Ukachukwu Desmond.
There's only one home.
Let's go ahead.
There's only one homeland. There's only one homeland. There's only one territory we are trying to salvage. And people who are saying do what you are doing, we have our gunpowder. Some people are pouring water into that gunpowder. And we are expected to just let them continue to do it. People are being killed. The opportunities we have to succeed is being wasted. And we are supposed to keep it like that so that people can continue in their scam. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that.
Never.
And if they do not dress back, the blood of those who have already been killed because of their criminality. Where was Nnamdi on the day of that python that?
Our hope was riding on this man. All our hope was riding on him. We put all our eggs on him. We cut our parents off. My father's supposed to be here because of IPOB. I told him he's not coming back to my house. We cut everybody off thinking, oh, let's do this thing, which right in front of you. You keep thinking, okay, let me wait till I see Nnamdi. Maybe one day it's not even until I made the punk eyeball to eyeball. They are criminal elements. Ukachukwu Desmond, please go ahead.
The last caller, you live in Maryland. You are in a position to find out from those in DC whether he had come to see anybody in any department of government in the United States. And we're doing that. The results are coming now. Please, he throws himself. Nobody wants to deal with a criminal.
Let's take a call from Ukachukwu. Ukachukwu, please, one question. We have 4 people and then we end the show.
Yeah. Good evening. Am I coming clear?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. My name is Desmond Ukachukwu, and I'm from Imo State, but basically I reside in the United Arab Emirates. Precisely, I live in Abu Dhabi. I have a few questions to ask Mr. Tony Nadi. Mr. Nadi, it is obvious that standing on what is existing now, it is obvious that we've heard about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for long. It was even through Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that I came to hear about NLC, Niger Congress. Yes, and your name. And I was also meant to understand that you're trying to pull down the 1999 Constitution. And I would like you to clarify me personally what we stand to gain by pulling down the Constitution and the modalities that you need to put in place in order to pull down that Constitution, because judging from what is happening from that contraption currently now, it is quite obvious that every hem of affairs in that contraption are being managed by the Fulanis. And it is quite obvious also that the Igbos are being marginalized, and nobody won't even hear about us in the hem of affairs in that contraption. So what is your strategy of pulling that constitution, and how is pulling this constitution down going to affect positively to the Igbos? Because I know pulling down the constitution has nothing to do with getting Biafra. So when you put the constitution down, if possible.
Mazi Desmond, you have not been listening to our show. I think you just on air and you just decided.
He didn't listen to the show, so we can't waste time on. We don't have to waste time on him.
Video.
We've answered the question.
Thanks for showing up here. Go ahead and watch our
Please
video.
go to get to the next question, please.
Yeah, watch
get to
our
the next
video
caller.
from beginning to end, and you will get the answer to those questions, and even more. You will get more from that from our show today. So we've already
get in the next caller, please.
So Akwama Ezago, please go ahead.
Yeah. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah. Can you hear me, please?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Chidebere David Nabogo.
Welcome.
I'm calling from India.
Welcome.
Yeah. So I want to ask this question to Mr. Tony Nadi. You know, a brother called and asked about this movement and asked how many are there in this movement? Because I believe all these brokers here today is to enlighten people and get more people so that we can work hand to hand together and achieve the bringing down constitution of Nigeria. So, and he did not answer that question because I believe, which he asked, how many people are in this struggle?
How many do you have?
Can you hold on? Let me answer him. Let me answer him right away. If he didn't get the answer, there are 60 million people that will be voting in a referendum when we precipitate it. The Lower Niger Congress attention is on those 60 million people. The ragtag, people that gather here and there to shout.
Are with you. I'm not talking about the people you have.
Listen. If you want answer, if you want to disrupt, you can go to the next caller. If you want to get answer, you get answer. The Lower Niger Congress is connecting with the 60 million people that will go to referendum. Those 60 million people do not require the middlemanship of those who are damaging the process, waving flags all over the place and causing setbacks in every possible way. And those things you think that the multitude. It wasn't that multitude that went to the Ijaw and the Ogoni and the Anang and the Efik to embrace the Lower Niger paradigm to be one block. It wasn't that multitude that went to the Yoruba and Ibadan and the Owo and Akura and everywhere to get them to embrace the pursuit of self-determination in the manner that is now workable with our own. It's not that multitude that went to the Middle Belt. It's not that multitude that identified the Constitution as what has to go down. It's not that multitude that instituted the procedures that will take down that constitution. It's not that multitude that went to Washington to show the Americans what they stand to lose if we do not get rid of the ISIS that has come into our territory. And when it's not that multitude that went to the UN that made the UN come to point fingers at our constitution as source of the problem, as a pressure cooker for injustice. When we come to the point where that constitution is collapsing and this UN is ending, 60 million people that will go to referendum do not require any of this madness going on in the name of Biafra restoration, because you cannot come to and you don't have anything to offer them, and all of you put together do not even come to 10. They do not come. You do not come to 1 million. You do not come to any part of it. Even if you vote against independence, even if you vote against self-determination, the 60 million people who are going to be voting in that referendum are in touch. The LSC is in touch with them, and they will be voting at the time we get to that bus stop. It won't be any of you that will have to come and organize them and persuade them to vote. They are going to vote to be free. Then you will come to tell us what part of that whole work you have done. At this time, there's nothing the LNC can take from the noise and the mud. All that noise is like casting mud into drinking water. Poison toxin into drinking water.
Thank you, Mazi. We have a caller. Stranger, can you turn on your video? And unmute yourself, stranger. The name already is already fishy, so stranger is not ready. So we're not looking for stranger here. Christian Wabu Uzo. Christian Wabu Uzo, you're in. Please turn on your video and your audio.
Yeah. Good afternoon from here, please.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, please, I want to ask Tony Nadi, please, some questions to understand exactly what he's doing and how he's doing it. I hope he's working with the Emeke, I think so, if I'm not mistaken.
No. Are you asking if he's working with Emeke? Can you turn off your device, please? It's echoing back to our ears.
Turn off I don't have any device here. What I'm saying is that last time I had Emeka say that they're working with the NLC when he has debate with the.
He's lying. He's a part. He's a big part of this franchise we're talking about.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with LNC at all.
Okay, he's a part of it, but he's not a member.
He's a part of the Road Biafran franchise.
He's not.
The people extorting money from our people in the pretense they are pursuing Biafra on their behalf. The ministry is one of them.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with LNC. If you put our name out anywhere, well, if we hear about it, we're going to put out a disclaimer. We once put out a disclaimer against them.
Okay, let me say something, because to my own understanding in politics, I understand that all these people you mentioned here a few minutes ago about Bini and Sari Dokuba, all 4 people from the Middle Belt and all these places, you are saying that you have already be aligned with them. So
are you not seeing the actions they are taking? Are you not seeing the actions they are taking? Didn't you see the Yoruba doing what they are doing?
Allow me to say what I want to. This here is, I think everybody has right to say his own opinion.
It's not saying your own opinion. You're wasting our time. We don't have the whole time.
Ask your question so that we can go to another thing. Did you watch the program from beginning? If you didn't watch the program, go and watch it.
Okay, let me say, if I don't watch it, then you can address me politely now, not in hashing somebody like this.
Politely.
You are wasting the time of many people.
Please,
that is why you are here. Okay, go ahead.
That's not why we are here. Please, can you get this man out of the stage, please?
Let me ask your question so that we can go to another thing.
Caller, your name and where you're calling from. Please make it snappy, guys. It's almost 11:30.
Yeah.
Everybody took time, and now my own is going to be snappy.
Sorry.
Okay, no problem.
It's towards the end of the program.
my name is Ibrahim Kliba Chukwuemeka, and I am a very proud member of the Lower Niger Congress. I reside here in Houston, thankfully with my sister Mona and Augusta. You know, I'm sure that Sister Eku will be very jealous of us because she's far away there. Anyway, I thank you, Tony, for making out time. I have been listening to all the people that came in. I think there's something very, very fundamental that I observed. Number one is that some of them are just coming into contact with Daughters of Truth platform. I can see that from the question, because they seem to be asking questions of something or some certain things that have been treated even by our sisters alone, not even bringing in other speakers, not to talk of other guests, not to talk of Tony. So they are first time listeners. Secondly, the other thing I observed is that those who called, some of them, Sister Mona, if you are talking to me or if you're telling me something and my mind is made up, it doesn't matter what you have said before, it doesn't matter how long you have said it, it doesn't matter how many times you have repeated it, I already have a mindset. So some of these people started the program, and it's shocking that they come to ask, how do you want to take down the Constitution? What happens thereafter? You know, these are things that have been very well explained, and yet they come back again. It's just like, I'm running up now, please. It's just like if you ask any IPOB member now about LNC, they will tell you that Lower Niger Congress is about new Nigeria.
It's about map.
Is about getting a new Nigeria or one Nigeria. They just want to amend the constitution. This is something that has been kind of, I don't know, ingrained is a too big of a word. Is some, I don't know, a plaster that is a chemical compound. It's not a physical compound. It's something that you have to do very serious, go into serious scientific process to separate or to remove that notion from them. So I am not surprised the kind of questions they are asking, because they have been brainwashed. Number one, that Tony Nadi is working for Nigerian government. Number two, that LNC is about new Nigeria and a constitution amendment. Number three, that it is only IPOB that we get Biafra. Now the question I'm asking, how? I've always made this statement. If you want to go from Austin, or let me even go far back to so that our sister will be happy now. Let me talk about going to Kentucky. If you want to go to Kentucky, you must find a way of going there. You either trek, you fly, you ride a bicycle, you ride a kind of motorcycle, or you somehow find a way you can use the Mississippi Delta to find your way to that place. There must be a process. You want Biafra, since someone has said it. Yes, we want Biafra. How do you get it? Is it going to fall from sky? Up till today, we have not seen a plan. We have not seen a roadmap. We have not seen a methodology. We have not seen a step-by-step plan how to do this thing. And people are still following without asking questions. When are we going to ask questions? And we never do. Thank you, my dear sisters, and I hope I've been able to make Sister we laugh for not being part of our Houston crew. Thank you.
Thank you, Mazi. And then we have a caller. Ijele speaks your name, I guess your name and where you're calling from. Unmute yourself, sir.
Okay, is it clear now?
Yes.
Yeah, welcome everyone. Sorry, I'm saying welcome everyone. Good evening, everyone. I'm happy to be here. I greet you in a special way, Mr. Tony Nadi, and the engineer Clifford Urania, who just spoke. My sister, I'm not here to ask questions. I can tell you categorically that I know I've heard Mr. Tony Nadi speak. I pay close attention to everything he's saying. Ever since I came across his name and his works, I've always tried to follow him. There is no interview of his that I've not watched, only the ones I've not laid my hands on. That does not mean that he may not be wrong anywhere. We don't agree 100% anywhere. And in fact, most people are now spreading rumors that Mr. Tony Nadi is paying me. And I want him to confirm before he leaves that. Not that he owes all these animals any explanation. I've never spoken with him on the phone before. I don't have his phone number. We've not even exchanged a single text. But what I'm trying to drop here before I leave, because I think we are almost at the twilight of the program. Don't mind all these people. When you see these people come with a subjective mind, then I repeat myself. One of the characteristics of being an IPO pig is you have a subjective mind. You don't reason. They turn your brain from liquid to solid, and there is no way you will make water penetrate a rock, no matter how you try. Do not waste your time on them. That is my candid advice. You were with them. You are deeper than I was. So you cannot, but if from a distance I can see them, see their buffoonery and their stupidity, you are supposed to be seeing it better than me. These guys are the worst of the worst you can get anywhere. In Igbo land, in the whole place you call Nigeria today, these are the most stupid. I'm not sorry to say this. See, this is not my personal hatred for Nnamdi Kanu speaking. I personally hate him. I've never hidden that from anyone. And the reason I hate him is because he's wasting the lives of our people. And what we are doing is try to save our people, to not bring unnecessary killings. And it baffles me sometimes why the people trying to save lives are the ones being called names. And the person taking lives is being called a savior. This is like a Groundhog Day. Every day it's like their world is upside down. And I want to make this suggestion. IPO pigs, please, have you considered working on your head? Maybe your perception about life will be correct, because everything you people are doing are always upside down. So you better turn upside down. Maybe you'll be seeing the world clearly. These guys are the worst of the worst. I've been watching them, I've been paying attention. If they're not coming there to solve someone, check the comment section now. It's Ashawo, Janjaweed, paid agent of the zoo. You know the cliche. The same thing, they repeat the same thing because they've all been programmed. Everything they're saying have all been programmed. They will tell you mad people everywhere. It's not as if I want to knock someone's family. Okay, now let's check that madness. Nnamdi Kanu's mother. People have been saying that she's not well complete. The knots are not well tight up there. I'm not going to argue against it or believe it, but when you look at how she was being used around in everywhere, please, I'm not trying to knock a dead person. I'm saying the truth. You can go and confirm from his own village. From his own village, you can confirm. And you wonder whether that's the reason she married such a wretch. No, I'm not knocking anyone's class, but this is what Nnamdi Kanu is doing. So I'm paying him his own coin.
No, I think no. We can't. Let's leave such personalities out of it. We have a problem to solve. These people don't understand the nature of the problem. They are adding to the problem instead of helping solve it. They are being misled by people who are lying to them. We only need to show them what they need to see. If they are not seeing it, unfortunately for them, nobody requires anything from them. But the project is going to its terminus. All of those in that problem are working together to get rid of the mechanism by which the enemy is holding them hostage. And whether they come along or they don't, it won't add or subtract anything from the 60 million people who are pushing towards that in that territory. The Yoruba already gone under this program. The Middle Belt already gone under this program. And if the three are working together and the constitution is going down with the Americans that are chasing after ISIS, I don't see where they come in.
Okay, sir. Listen, not that I'm coming here to personally attack anyone, but we say we present the fact. And it's a fact that his brother died as a madman. His older brother. No, I'm just telling you that these guys, no joke. These guys are projecting their image on others. Whatever they are calling you is what they are. You can tell by the way they edit videos to take people out of context, the way they make up stupid things and carry it around shamelessly without conscience. These guys are using a technology as cheap as Photoshop to swindle our people back home in Nigeria, to the extent that Associated Free Press had to come out to debunk them. Just understand where my
Guardian did last week. Guardian newspaper did last week.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. So
it's
not
so
as
funny.
if I'm making
It's
it
funny that we're on this topic. So we have one of their iPunks. I'm posting the picture now that came after Sister Augusta and sent her this picture that I'm showing right now. His name is Bertram Alozie. He lives in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. He's 68 years of age. That's if that's his real age. Who knows? So this is what this old man at his deathbed is sending to a married woman with 4 children that has her future ahead of her. So I posted the picture here. Sister Augusta, I don't know if you have anything else to add to this, but it's here what he sent this lady as a text message. He had this picture showing a gun pointing at her. So when we tell you guys that IPOB is a terrorist organization, we are not kidding. Tell me what a 68-year-old man in his house in Bethlehem is doing, sending this picture to a woman that has 4 children. What else do you call this, audience? Please look at it. I have posted it. What else do you call what we are looking at, if not terrorism?
It's terrorism, my sister. Like we said, they try to use Ibn Babia to put fear in our people, hold them bound. Some of us now are saying, no, this thing cannot scare anybody. Now they're bringing the picture of gun to say they're not going physical. Are they not terrorists? They are terrorists that are terrorizing everyone.
If you don't agree with them.
We are trying to get a nation. We can't even talk. How much more will we not get the nation? We will be able to talk. Then it will be worse than Nigeria.
Yeah.
You see what we're telling our people? They are showing themselves every day that they are not here to set us free. They are not here to get freedom for our people. They are here to put us in bondage. If they try if it's not working, they will bring gun. They will bring machetes. They will bring everything they can get. Very soon they will start bringing juju. to bring dead rats.
They are
Maybe they
just
brought dead
they
rats.
are
Yeah.
Yes. let me say something briefly. Yeah. The name of the man is Mazi Bertram Chukwu Emeka Alozie. He works with Radio Biafra. He is the one that I think he has his show. We used to do show with him when
We
we
have
were
his picture.
I don't have his picture here, because I deleted him off of Facebook. You understand? When we moved out of the of IPOB, I deleted him off of Facebook, blocked his number on WhatsApp because I heard that he was. I knew he was for some reason working with Nnamdi, probably not blind. He knows what he was doing actually. And he's an old man, an elderly
They are all
man.
part of the scam. He's a beneficiary of the scam.
He gets paid because I asked him one time when
A
I was
financial beneficiary.
I asked him, it's because you get paid monthly. That is why you will see the truth as an elderly man and you will cover it up. He didn't reply me. I said, yes, you get paid. And he didn't reply me. So the truth about it is that he has been threatening verbally, like, hey, we are going to, the way they do on their Facebook page, on our shows. The way they call names. Oh, when you come to Biafra land, we're going to kill you. When you do this, we're going to do that, So he's been doing this, and this was the first time he's, drawing this out with a gun directed at me. And at the bottom, he said, Bertram has decimated your territory. That was what he wrote at the bottom of this picture.
He will be hearing from the sheriff pretty soon. That's what.
Yeah, he will be hearing from the sheriff because I called the police station in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, where he lives at. His physical address was given, his phone number. I'm sure they'll be contacting him soon. And I also spoke with the deputy sheriff here in Houston, in Richmond, Texas, where I live. And the sheriff, they took down all the information about him. So he will be hearing from that. You cannot go and be, I don't have anything to do with you. If not for supposed Biafra, I wouldn't know you for God knows what. I mean, our path wouldn't meet. So because we were discussing salvation of our people, now feel that you can take an advantage. And this is America. You don't go doing this to somebody living here in America and you think you will go scot-free. So this is him taking a gun directed at me. So I don't know what he's going to achieve with that, in all honesty.
He will be achieving a call from a sheriff. That's what he just achieved.
Please, let me weigh in. Let me weigh in there. My sister, I understand you and the condition you are in. These people are people I've fought with on daily basis. I keep receiving all this nonsense from them. But it is very, very absurd that someone who claims to be fighting for the good of the people is moving around threatening a woman. And now let me tell you, this is the modus operandi. They can't fight their fellow men. They are fighting only women. Please, let me make a reference. You know the one they call the Ojupinina that has never fought his fellow man is one of the IPO pigs in Nnamdi Kanu's community. You can go there and make verifications if you doubt me. He specializes in beating up women. So this is what they are known for. My sister, I hope you take up the case to the highest level. This is what people should be doing to them. By the time you make example of any of all those fools, you will see that they will withdraw. These are cowards. These people are not looking for a fight. They are looking for victims because they are moving around looking for who to intimidate and threaten. Again, it goes back to what they don't know. These guys keep scoring own goals. He's moving around taking credit for the works LNC did and forgetting to realize that the group, the terrorist organization IPOB was correctly termed as a terrorist organization. Basically, in that document, how can you call someone a fool and he's jumping from the fifth floor, basically confirming what you said? And what is terrorism? It is using violence or intimidation to achieve a political purpose. Can you look at IPOB and say that they don't fit that description?
My dear, they have crossed the boundary. The sheriff will be there because they told us what to do. So he will be getting a phone call. So very soon his name will be on the list. And already there's 4 criminal record listed with his name on it. So they don't want to add this one.
And let me tell you, their coordinator in Turkey is wanted by the police. No kidding. Ooh. If they say it's a lie, they come and say it. And if they do nonsense, I will take the police to where he lives. I know it. Hey, I am saying it openly. Their coordinator is wanted by the police. Even the deputy coordinator, Kennedy, who happens to come from my hometown, was once wanted by the police. And in all these cases, I told them I am going to start my own lawsuit against them here. Because they are beans to Sokoto, Ucheme for himself. They poorly drawn Sokoto sack of beans. Put my photo on his garbage page and told them to be attacking me. I am not afraid of the attacks, but I'm happy he did it because that is a living evidence. That is a living evidence. Yes. It will help me because the organization, even though it was registered under a fraudulent pretense in the UK, its name is still there as one of the managers. That's what I call them because this is a business enterprise. He is one of the executive managers of the company. So that one alone is helping my legal cause, of which I am going to begin it by the time I'm done with what I'm doing in Nigeria currently.
It's terrible, my brother. It's not enough the names they are calling us on their show, threatening us. We have one that call every day to threaten everybody that lives in Houston that used to be former IPOB members, all because we left. You guys haven't even seen nothing. If I
and that one doesn't even undocumented illegal immigrant.
Illegal immigrant. So
was in there
and he was suspended. Okay, so we should see how this goes. You know, we've told you guys to stop. Oh, Papa, also he left the zoo country, but here, better be in a.
Oh yeah, this is their problem. They don't even know when they don't have the standing.
Right. I accidentally put somebody in. Okay, Ogum Christian, round it up. We are going home. Ogum, turn off your device, sir. Round it up so we can go. I was trying to remove an
all over the world, but they're in shock.
Mazi, Obum.
They have been, if you see the
Ogum Christian.
Ogum Christian.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you so much for having me. This is probably my second or third time watching your show, and I enjoy it. Especially Mr. Tony Nadi. It's so nice to finally talk to you. I sent you a private message on Messenger, but you didn't respond. I'm sure you're very busy trying to save us from this our Nigerian problem. Thank you so much. Ijele, you too. It's so nice to talk to you directly. And my sisters, you guys are doing a wonderful job. But I want to beg you for something. I'm not a member of IPOB. I hate Nigeria. I hate them with passion. I lost a lot of family members during the Civil War. People that I live in Vancouver, Canada. I have no reason leaving my homeland to come here and suffer in cold and hot weather all the time. But what I want to say is that we can do this together. Tony, you are doing a good job. You are doing a good job. We don't have the press on our side. We can use Nnamdi Kanu. What I'm saying, we can do it in such a way that we come together and discuss. You want what you guys are doing, remember Fatah worked with Hamas. They hated Israel. If you go to Northern Ireland, Jerry Adams, CMP, and Irish Republican Army, they work together. They hated
Mazi Christian, I don't think you were listening to us earlier. To tell you
I know that you believe that Nnamdi is deceiving our people. What I'm saying is, Tony, you guys, you and Nnamdi hate each other with passion. You guys can make up.
It's not a matter of hate, my brother. Our people are dying. So, Mazi, to tell you the truth, I was trying to remove people from the waiting room and I added them by accident.
My sister, please let me respond to that. Can I respond to that?
Okay, go ahead.
Can I respond to that?
Yeah.
Okay, let me respond. My brother, please. This is like telling someone you are in Abuja, you see a vehicle, and they are loading people. Sorry, you are in Opiweka. Now, you have people, two people. One is going to Abuja, one is going to Lagos.
There is no way, no matter how we want to bring them together, both of them must board that box. It's not possible. You know why? Now, let me tell you. I understand your emotion. I understand your feeling. That is me making my own assumption now. So I don't know if they are right or wrong, but let me just say, nevertheless, you are just assuming that this guy is actually fighting for anything. That is the problem. Now, tell him, go ask him if you are speaking with him. Did he or not tell Nonso Ejirika, who is in Spain? He visited the guy's house 7 good times. 7 good times. And at a point, I don't know what gave him the impression that he can bring Nonso Soki, who I know very well. We grew up in the same street. He saw me grow up as a child. He's far older than me. Nnamdi Kanu confided in him that this is not about any Biafra. It's just for noise making and making a political statement. This is what he told me. Ask him. Then Nonso told the whole thing to Engineer Clifford Irana, of which Engineer Clifford Irana was in the same position you are in right now. He went and told Nnamdi Kanu the whole thing. Nnamdi Kanu called Nonso Ejirika and told him that he's betraying him, Nnamdi Kanu. Then Nonso called, please, Engineer Clifford Irana is still alive today. You can ask him. Told him that one day you will realize what this guy is doing and you are going to apologize to me. I've not had this conversation personally with Engineer Clifford Irana, but I'm going to call him anyway. Nonso is not someone who can lie about that issue. What am I trying to say in essence? Is this: my brother, Nnamdi Kanu has no plan for anything. In case if you want, I can send you a voice note. If I don't know how you drop me your number,
let me help
you can drop it.
Mazi, let me help you. At least you're hearing from someone. Directly he told me when I was trying to kill myself and do all kinds of stuff to get Biafra. He told me, he said that I'm doing too much, that I should remove myself. That all they are waiting is for the Fulanis to come in and kill our people. And how many people that are left after they kill them, Biafra will come. I said, as in them mother, are you having your menstruation or carrying child for 9 months for you to come up with that kind of plan? That is his plan, my people. So, my brother, it's just, you guys are emotional. Well, we used to be like you guys. We used to think he was doing stuff. I'm telling you, I called off my parents, my sisters, my brothers, because I was telling them to join Biafra. They were like, no, we're not understanding what you guys are doing. I said, you guys are going to destroy, remove, we are like that, cussing people out, saying you don't want to join Biafra. Until I finally met him one-on-one and I realized that's not what he's doing. I have to be honest with myself.
Jenny, one more thing, please. I want to beg you. When you have somebody was born with mental problems, you don't have to make fun of that. It's not the person.
Brother, they are the ones bringing it up, not me. Please, I was
only wrong. Whatever. It's wrong. Two wrongs cannot make it right. It's wrong.
Sorry, my brother. It's people like you that really give us problem here. Somebody is having hello, hold on. Somebody has a mental problem, and our people are following him into a ditch. Are you aware that Adolf Hitler had a mental problem? 12 million Germans were killed. 6 million Jews were killed, and people were watching. Nnamdi Kanu has a mental problem, and we are not joking. And our people are following him.
It's not as an insult. No, it's not an insult.
It's not an insult. You know,
this guy has a mental problem.
There's a book out that says Trump has a mental problem. Trump is
no one has verified that. No one has
going to be re-elected.
Okay, let me give you another example. Nnamdi Kanu's in-law, the one that calls himself the master prophet, Biafran as spiritual leader. Go and watch my interview with him as we were talking in the middle of a discussion. He told me that he killed Buhari himself. My brother, what do you call that? What? No. And he's married to Nnamdi Kanu's younger sister. And they are all moving on with the same thing. I don't want to say nonsense. But no other words can suffice in this case. This is what they believe. You have to get into the mindset of these people. Go and check their psychological DNA, and you'll find out that these are people who shouldn't be near anywhere they can control even 50 people. This is a dangerous person. I'm not going to talk about his substance abuse problem. I'm not going to go there. Let people who are closer to him be the judge on that one, including his own brother. We know what he's doing in Nigeria and the rest of them. So, my brother, when you see me say that thing, I am one responding to what they are saying, because this is projection. You take your weakest link and throw it at someone else and expect the person to be on the back foot and defending himself. When you are just projecting yourself, okay, check, Nnamdi Kanu called Wazuike a hypocrite. Can you show me a bigger hypocrite than Nnamdi Kanu? Nnamdi Kanu called Wazuike a poor man, that a poor man cannot be a freedom fighter. This guy was a barber in Brixton. I know the owner of the place. Honor our views. He was
we all have a story, bro. We all have a story.
So why is it insulting?
I wasn't born rich, but through education and everything, I got myself to where I am. So whatever you started with, I mean, it's not the some people watch to become pilots. So
my brother, this is not a private business. The lives of 70 million people are at stake here. We're not here to joke. Well, this is not like we are gossiping in the kitchen. The lives of our people, the life of our people is at stake. The destiny of our people is at stake. We are not here to say, if you want to marry Nnamdi Kanu, or let him be your father-in-law or son-in-law or brother-in-law, go ahead and have a relationship with him.
Point. My sister, that's not his point. Please let me.
Thank you, Ijele. That's not my point. My point is we can channel this energy towards fighting our oppressor, not each other. It's making
our oppressor. Nnamdi is your oppressor. That's what I'm telling you.
Your oppressor.
You don't want to believe because you never joined. You never joined.
Yeah. It's not perfect. It's not perfect.
No.
Let's not let this thing derail our topic today.
You did not believe him enough to join him. But we joined him. We are talking from points of knowledge. You don't know.
My sister, please. I want my brother to understand that he is talking from the position of an outsider. You guys are talking from the position of an insider. And I myself, I'm talking as someone who've been privy to Nnamdi Kanu's secrets and records. Documented. Well documented. Okay, now my brother, ask Nnamdi Kanu, what is the link between him and between him and Abuja? Then the person you put in the middle is Ostachidoka. That's as far as I'm going to say on this. And I am going to show you, send you that voice note. When you listen to it, you tell me, decide for yourself whether Nnamdi Kanu is actually fighting for Biafra or putting himself as a political tool. To some people within the Igbo ruling class. I am not making any apologies for this. You will hear it yourself. And when they come, they know that Biafra is an emotional issue to Igbo people. It's very difficult to see someone who is not directly affected by that war. Till date, I don't want to use the word war.
Thank you, Mazi.
Because the pain is still there. That is what he is tapping into your emotions. Please give it a clear mind. Assume that this guy is like you. In a broadcast, Nnamdi Kanu will contradict himself 20 times. You will not keep it if you have it at the back of your mind that he is fighting for you. Now, go into my page, you will see, even in Ijele speaks or Ijele speaks clips, you will see where I keep putting Nnamdi Kanu versus Nnamdi Kanu. This same person. IPOB whiter than white. Do you know that girl they attacked, Doris Ogala, Nnamdi Kanu went behind and want to put that girl in trouble. Meanwhile, he was begging that girl in a chat to withdraw every petition. And at the same time, he is planning to write a fresh petition against the girl. Imagine when you withdrawn all your petitions, you have no legal standing.
I will send you the text message where he told me in person, and then he sent me a text. His strategy is for the Fulanis to kill our people, and whatever people that are left, them Biafra will come. So we don't even want this to derail our topic today.
This is the person. This is mindset of the person we are talking about here. So, my brother is the emotion. I have my brother here, Sunday Onwuka, Anyanwu Sunday Onwuka. Here, you can check his comments in the comment section. My brother, please say something, let them know. You can ask him. He used to be like you. more emotional than you. But at a point, as a cautious person, he calmed down and started looking at this and checking every evidence. Adding one to one. Okay, he's saying that he's coming this December. Let's wait for him. And my offer still stands.
Don't if
Nnamdi Kanu brings Biafra in January, not December, I'm going to give him extra 30 days. I will hang myself live on Facebook.
You cannot hang yourself. Do not
He's
hang
not bringing
yourself.
any Biafra.
So let's go.
Does he have any Biafra that he's bringing?
I know. That's what I'm saying. There's no possibility of that happening. So don't even buy the rope. He doesn't have a chance. Don't buy the chance. Thank you, Jelly, for joining us. Please, guys, close this statement so we can go. Thank you.
Thank you, my sister. Okay.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Mazi, please, your closing statement. We need to come back to what we are here for. Oh, you're on mute. You're on mute. Let me unmute you. Oh. Can you unmute your? Okay, there you are.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Go ahead.
I already joined another meeting, but we just have to tell our people the plain the summary. The last caller, for instance, that I was talking about, he may be, with good intentions, asking that people join forces. Let me remind him that in 2013, it was because we thought there could be a role that would be played by this, the radio and all of what he could bring, that we called him to a meeting. And I sat 4 hours with him in my Lagos offices. And every single thing I showed him about what we had done and what we were doing that would bring this outcome, he rejected them. Right from that meeting, I deleted his phone number from my phone as one who was on a totally different mission. And he justified that action of mine by the things they continued to do from that time. For 7 years, they were doing the opposite of what will bring this outcome. And they made the task a lot more difficult. If not for God's intervention, we would have failed simply because Nnamdi Kanu was trying to make profit. And so those who are talking about how to come and combine it, we don't find anything we can take from it. And if he has brought himself to where the U.S. administration and particularly the United States Commission for International Religious Freedom, the very agency of government that will preside over the execution of the executive order that will address this problem, if he has brought himself to where his IPOB is listed, as a part of the problem that has to be solved, I don't see how LNC can be invited into all of that kind of a mess. There's no part of what he's doing to anybody. And our alliance partners, the ones in the lower Niger, for instance, the Joe will not touch anything if Nnamdi is anywhere in the background of it. You go to the Anang, the Efi. The Yoruba will not have any further discussion with us if they begin to suspect that Nnamdi is somewhere in the background of what we are doing. The middle belt will be gone. And then more importantly, the international stakeholders will know we are all jokers if we have anything we say we want to do with it. Those things that we need to succeed are already being done. There's no part of it that has to be done by them. The people who go to referendum are listening directly to what we're saying. They don't need to come to be the one to persuade them. I sympathize with those who are stranded overseas, wanting to come home. But the biggest obstacle between you and that desire is this scam. If we get this scam out of the way, I can assure you we're already done. We're already done. There's nothing anybody can do to save that constitution that they create the union. That's where we are. I think we've had a great day, and people should go and check out what they have been told.
Right. Thank you, Sister Queen. Somebody's phone is. You need to mute your phone. I don't know whose phone is vibrating back. Mazi, Tony, can you mute your phone, please? Okay, let me see. Okay. All right, so think we go ahead.
Oh, thank you, viewers. Do you want me to give them a take-home point, or you're going to do it?
I'm gonna put it up.
Okay.
Yeah, just be talking.
All right. Thank you for your time. Today was quite extensive, and we appreciate you for staying to watch. We pray that everything that is holding our people will set them free. The greatest freedom is personal freedom. You will begin to free yourself. As you free yourself, I free myself. Then we'll come together and be a free people. So please do not get too emotional about things. Try and listen to the lecture that is being given to you. It's a standard operation that we're talking about. It's what other nations have done. South Africa, Namibia. Just check it out yourself. You see that people have done it before. And if people have done it, war is expensive. We don't want another war. And there's no need for it in 2020. There are apparatus and there are a lot of tools already available that can be used to get the independence we are looking for. So why do we want to kill ourselves, our people again? Why do we want our women and children to die again unnecessarily? So there's no need for that, and we have really gone far. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sister Augusta.
Yeah, thank you very much, our viewers. Thank you, Mr. Tony, for coming. And for all those that are still in doubt about what we're doing, we want to let you know that the freedom is imminent, is here actually. All you need to do is to just pay attention and continue to follow us. We have our Facebook page, Daughters of Truth. You can always download even our old videos where we have discussed everything about this freedom, about what we are doing. So you can also go to our YouTube. You can subscribe to our channel, go to our YouTube, and go as far back as us discussing the United Nations Declaration of the Rights of the Indigenous Peoples. I think is number 2. I think it has been redone, Sister Ekwe, correct? Okay, so just go on YouTube, Daughters of Truth. You'll be able to subscribe, and you see a lot of our videos where these things have been discussed extensively. And for those that are afraid that, hey, we need a National Assembly, remember that the Constitution said, we the people. We the people means it's us. We don't need a National Assembly in this case. You all need to know that those people that are in the National Assembly or even your governors are people that you elected to go and serve you. They are supposed to serve you. They are not your leaders. They're supposed to go there and serve you. But unfortunately, they are not serving you. So we, the people, are the ones that will bring down that constitution. It is not for the National Assembly. And I remember somebody said that the North will never allow that to happen. We already have a majority. The majority is the Middle Belt, the Lower Niger, and the Southwest. So we are already a majority. So we don't even need the core Sharia states to impede us in what we're doing. So we just want everybody, just try and listen, reason, start reasoning. If you go back and look at some of our videos, they are self-explanatory. We've really, really come down to explain this thing to the best of our abilities. So they are self-explanatory. They would help you to understand that somebody's just sitting in front of a radio and manipulating you. That is what it's all about. So if you listen, you would notice the difference. And for those people that were not member of IPOB before, you were never a member, you don't even know what transpired, you don't even know how they operate, and you come here and start feeling as if you know more than we that were part and parcel of the struggle, that were part and parcel of that second contraption, because we're talking about Nigeria as a contraption. That is another contraption, in case you don't know. Do not come here and start exposing your ignorance. It's not going to help you in any way. So we need you all to remain focused. Join the LSC. The job is almost half done. The job is actually done already. All you need to do is to wait for the constitutional force majeure that will take place very soon. Then our freedom will be there. Thank you all for listening, and thank you, Master Tony, for joining us.
Thank you, Sister Augusta, for that. So if you can look at our platform, we have posted the take-home points. The S is missing, so we have 3 points today. So the take-home points, the idea of this is for you because we go into several conversations as we are having this show. The purpose of this is to focus you on what you should understand, what you should take away from what we've talked today. So one of the points is identifying that the 1999 Constitution is the source, as the source of our sovereignty and enslavement problem. identifying that the 1999 Constitution is as the source of our sovereignty and enslavement problem, accepting that the political class who have been operating or ruling us under the 1999 Constitution, who still insist on renewing our slavery and jail term every 4 years to enable them to make money from our blood, our misery, our enemies to our common destiny, and the real criminals that we have been looking for. We also plan to isolate those politicians at their political processes, as well as their evil desire and ambition, through our constitutional force majeure that is coming up and subsequent suspension of their blood election rituals until we recover the people's stolen mandate and sovereignty. So these are the things that we have to understand, that the power belongs to us, that we need to do this thing. If we are renewing that election every year, we're renewing our slavery, we're renewing our downfall, we're renewing our hardship. It will just, because when they come on, they have to swear to uphold that constitution, and we no longer want to participate in a country that has not given anything back to us. So thank you until we see you guys back next week, and stay safe. We all want freedom. We all want self-determination. We all want a nation where our brothers and sisters can flourish, but we do not want to do it under deceit. We don't want to do it under pressure. We do not want to do it under pretense or propaganda, giving things that we cannot offer to our people, or things that will not materialize into their freedom. So open your hearts, open your mind. Don't be too judgmental. Just ask yourself, what is the purpose of all of this? Why are we doing this? Why do we come up here every Saturday to talk to our people? By the way, they're having sales. I could have gone to Macy's 80% off today to buy some stuff, but we're here to make sure that people understand that this is what we need. This is what we need to get where we're going. And we should stop wasting our time. Like Sister Augusta keep lamenting, there's no reason for you to die holding flags, because nobody, if you die, you're just a number. Nobody reads about all the things happening in Nigeria to us here in America. We don't know how many people died. You only see, for a brother that was calling earlier, you only see what you want to see. You say you haven't heard of LNC, you haven't done it because you don't want to. You don't want to. You only see, if you have been looking for a solution on how to get yourself out of the contraption, perhaps the Google would have pointed you to it. So we need to be honest with ourselves. We just want freedom, and everyone is looking for the same thing. We just have to agree on a way to get there. So thank you till we see you guys next week for joining us.